This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Part of that statement is a lie. We will attack and dominate. That's the goal on this Wednesday. But it is not Bobby Carpenter. To my left, Justin Zwick.
Hey.
One of the most handsome former Ohio State quarterbacks I know. Definitely top 10.
Yeah, I think so, at least. In the last 20 years.
I'm trying to think how many I know. I've met Krenzel, Cardale, JT, wait, okay, that's 3.
Get out of here.
I've met Braxton. I know, I'm trying to think her now. That's why I said one of the most. Braxton. Have I met any other? Keen Holes, I met him.
You met Beckman?
Will Howard. Never met Beckman.
No?
Yeah, so that's
Joey Baseball, Bowserman?
Never met Bowserman. I would have given him crap. Never met Belisari. Belisari. I'm not. Belisari spells his last name wrong. It should be Sorry. But anyway, I'm not going to do that right now. No, I'm not going to do it right now. It's a great day here. Morning Juice. It's Tito. It is Justin Zwick. It is Bodie Wells. And over there, Big Mo monitoring us. I think honestly, Bodie, I think that he's not here to learn how to do this job. I think he's here as a spy. I think that Fish put him here. I think Fish put him. Yeah, I think Fish and Tyler put him here to watch us. He's gonna report back.
Somebody's got to keep an eye on you guys.
I understand.
That's what I hear.
I'm just saying, as my son would say, feels kind of sus.
That's
what it feels like. Yes. Big show lined up for you today. Lots to talk about with the NBA, the NFL, college football, as always. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. 2 hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, Twitter, Facebook. Catch the show 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV. 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Download the podcast anywhere you get your audio. Last night, Rangers over the Guards 4-2. They play today at 1:10 in Cleveland. Cleveland looks to avoid the sweep. Brewers over the Reds 7-2. Third game of the 4-game set tonight at 8 o'clock. Reds suck. World Cup yesterday. Norway over Ivory Coast 2-1. France, and here's we get the soccer dog. France over Sweden 3-0. Mexico over Ecuador 2-0. There we go. U.S. men's national team plays tonight against Bosnia, followed by that H word. I don't know what, Bodie, you want to pronounce for us?
Yeah, Herzegovina.
There you go.
Bosnia. Hurts so good.
Yeah, there we go. Hurts so good.
Like
that's
John
what's going on there. Yes, that's tonight at 8 o'clock for that one. Can't wait for that game. Been loving this World Cup. Have you watched much of it?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
I guess that kills our next segment.
Well, that's just one sport.
Jay-Z's talk of the World Cup. Here we go.
One sport that I just haven't been able to get into is soccer. I think I watched too many high school girls soccer games back in the day, and it just kind of ruined it for me. I was like, this is tough. I did catch a little bit. We did the Buckeye show Monday night. The game was on.
Of course it was, because what was it, Bieber in there?
And Beamer was
there. Of course it was.
But of course, like they asked me a question, and I was like, hold on. I said, I just saw a murder on TV. Oh, hold on, no wait. The replay shows he didn't even touch the guy, but he fell down and his ankle was broken. I was like, that's where we're at. And it was 1-1 after 120 minutes of playing.
I love that they do that. That the injuries are so significant until they're not. Until it's not.
I'm going to sell this until, all right, I'm up, I'm fine.
I have had fun watching the World Cup this year. More fun than any, and I'm older than all of you guys. I have had more fun watching this World Cup than any World Cup I've ever been a part of. Not part of, but watch, like it's gone on in my lifetime. I've watched more of this, but I've really enjoyed it. It's been fun. Yeah. But yeah, that's a big game tonight. Serena Williams, by the way, goes back to Wimbledon last night. Gets beat yesterday, but she's 44 years old. A really cool story.
Is that her first singles because she's played doubles with her sister, I think, in this, right?
Has. Well, she's going to play doubles with her sister still in this, but she's played doubles before. But this is the first Wimbledon singles match, I want to say, in 4 years.
And she gets in there. There's a couple kids in between all that, I think?
At least a couple of kids.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, like for her to come back and be able to, give it a shot.
Right.
More power to her.
That's
got to be. I mean, that game is not easy.
No,
I mean, the conditioning and everything that you have to go into that to be able to come back and try that out.
Lost the first set, won the second one in a tiebreaker, then lost the third one. But still, pretty cool. She's doing that at age 44. The greatest women's tennis player of all time. No offense to Martina Navratilova. Not that she's listening, so maybe I will do offense to that one on her. But she's the greatest tennis player of all time. All right, Bodie, are you ready to take on the difficult task that Bobby has every day of making me smarter?
Let's do it.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Wells.
All right, fellas, Wednesday, July 1st.
How about that?
2026 day of the year.
Ask me, when does college football start?
When does college football start, Tito?
Next month.
That kind of feels gross, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
And it'll be here even before
Yes.
this month will go just as fast.
It's
That's what kids go back to school also next month.
which one are we counting down to? More Tito?
The kids go back to school. Yes.
The 182nd day of the year. We have 183 days left here in 2026. So we are, I guess it'd be at noon today, technically, right?
Yeah.
Right dead even.
Yes.
It's hard
Toast
to believe. We'll start with some events all the way back on this date in 1776. The first vote on the Declaration of Independence for Britain's North American colonies takes place. I believe it was one of the founding fathers. I can't remember which one. I read it a few days ago when I put this together. That's out of my memory bank now. But one of them thought that going forward, July 2nd actually would be the day that kind of gets celebrated for Independence Day. But obviously, that became the 4th. So we'll celebrate that. Or actually, today's the 1st. Never mind.
Tomorrow.
So, yeah, maybe tomorrow. But we'll celebrate that in a few days here on Saturday this week. 250th one there. On this date in 1863, another pretty big event here. The Battle of Gettysburg begins. The Union wins a couple of days later in what is considered to be the Civil War's turning point and the bloodiest battle of the war. A handful of years later, 1870, the United States Department of Justice formally comes into existence. Excuse me, sorry. 1881, the world's first international telephone call is made between St. Stephen, New Brunswick in Canada, and Calais in Maine here in the U.S. of A.
It was a collect call. Do you accept the charges? They said
Remember
no.
those? Remember those
Changed
back in the day?
everything.
Yeah.
Yes. John Adams, by the way, is the one who suggested July 2nd. I don't know why we don't make it like a 4-day celebration. Why can't we just like a 4 or 5 day celebration?
I'm celebrating all week.
Wait, why can't we
Go
just
America.
do that?
7 days.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
I honestly, when you said collect call, I really wasn't picking up
Oh
what
my
you were
gosh,
putting
you
down
wouldn't.
there.
You are so damn young.
He
Wasn't
is
really
too
sure
young
what you
for
meant
that.
there.
Yeah.
Once you kind of put it, once you said the
No, it's
full
not.
Will
explanation,
you
it made
accept
sense,
the charges?
but
You have to say yes.
You don't know about emergency breakthroughs either, do you?
emergency breakthroughs?
Yes.
On a phone or a
Yes.
car? Okay.
You could call someone's house and say I would call, say, my house to tell my mom something.
Okay.
From a payphone. And my sister's on the phone. Yeah.
I'm at a payphone
Okay.
trying to call home.
Exactly.
All right.
There we go. And it kept ringing busy. And I would say, you can call the operator and say, excuse me, can I do an emergency breakthrough, please? What's your name? Jeff. And they would pop into the middle of the conversation. Tito, yes. And say, hey, emergency breakthrough, Tito needs to call, do you accept? Mm-hmm. And they could say no and just keep,
I don't remember that
yeah,
part.
emergency breakthroughs. Yeah, you could do that. That was something that was, that's undisciplined kids with not a lot of parental supervision. That's the kind of stuff we did.
And now this
Well,
7-inch
Yes.
piece of brick
Does
is
it
And now we carry it around with us
attached
everywhere
to
we
us
go.
at the hip.
No more home phones.
Next up here, guys, jumping into the 20th century. In 1903, the start of the first Tour de France bicycle race takes place. Just 1 year later, in 1904, the Olympic Games begins in St. Louis, Missouri. That is the first games to be held here in the U.S. of A. In 1908, SOS is adopted as the international distress signal. So that is, it's 3 dots, 3 dashes, and then 3 more dots. So try to remember that if you
Yes.
ever find yourself in
Yep.
that situation. I hope you don't, because it seems like a pretty.
So I'm going to
unfortunate
forget
one.
that. I'm gonna, wow, what did Bodie say?
Dot, dot, dot,
It was
dash,
dashes
dash,
and
dash,
dots.
dot, dot, dot. If you can remember the first 3 dots,
Yeah,
you should,
you should remember the rest,
It
yeah.
is the same letter there. Jumping ahead here, a few decades. In 1941, a little bit of baseball here. En route to his record 56-game hitting streak, Joe DiMaggio ties Willie Keller's 44-game hit streak in a 9-2 win over the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. And then, spoiler alert, DiMaggio broke the record tomorrow, 1 day later. And then a couple weeks later, got to 56, and that's where it stopped there. In 1963, the United States Post Office officially introduces the 5-digit zip code as a way to improve mail delivery speed. I feel like that's worked out pretty well. We still use zip codes as a pretty big part of our mailing
It
addresses
doesn't
today.
come very fast anymore. But
That shows you how old I am. I know that, who was it? Was it Nelly that had hose and area codes?
maybe Nelly, yeah.
I'm so
sure?
old, I've got hose and zip codes.
All right.
I got to see what someone
Hey,
had
the
someone had a rap about
550,
that.
the 403.
Get the IT kids
Ludicrous,
on that
maybe.
one.
I think that might be
No,
ludicrous.
It might be
Yeah, it might be
I think
Luda,
you're right.
yeah.
It's Luda.
That's pretty good.
As I'm going
there.
through it in my head,
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
think you're
Luda.
right. It's
I'll
Luda.
hit this next one, Tito, and then you let us know. Because on this date, speaking of music, in 1960, what's that?
It was Luda, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Call it Jay-Z. 1967, the Beatles begin a 15-week run atop the U.S. album charts with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Long word, a long name there.
With Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, we hope you will enjoy the show.
I wouldn't consider myself to be the biggest Beatles fan in the world, but that song in particular, doesn't do it for me.
None of them. I've never really been able to
catchy
get into
compared
any
to
of them.
The
some of the other
song
ones.
is not that significant. The movie was.
Did you ever go to a concert?
I never went to a Beatles concert. No, they broke up in 1969 or 1970, and I
Been
was
your
born
teenage
in
years, right?
71. Honestly, I've known Jay-Z for a few years now. I've never wanted to punch him in the face more than I do right now. The fact he just did that to me is so disrespectful.
All right, Tito, let me ask you this, though. Have you ever owned one of these suckers right here? 1979, the Walkman is introduced in Japan.
Oh, yeah. I owned a Walkman. Yes.
I had a Walkman. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll throw
I had a Walkman back in the day. Yeah. Come on,
More
you're
of the
young and you.
iPod
Yeah.
generation.
So you could do the Walkman, and you had the wired headphones, right? The thing you'd clip it on your belt with play the cassette tapes.
Spotify on that? Or
No skipping. You're fast forwarding. and then the thing gets messed up. You got to take the tape out and rewind it.
Then they had the
that was
disc.
back when you only had 6 skips, not because of
Right,
Spotify's
yeah.
little issue.
Yeah, that's
there,
all
but-
that your tape could hold.
Exactly, yeah.
Then they had the Discman,
Yeah,
which was,
that
oh
was-
my God, get a Discman. But every time you took a step, it would skip.
Yep.
Because it was a CD, it was a compact disc, and it was very skippable.
Very skippable.
Now we don't have CDs.
Yeah,
Hardly
Yeah,
anymore.
right, yeah.
Cars aren't even made with CD players
No,
anymore.
they're not.
On this date in 2000, as we flip to the 21st century here, Kylie Minogue's Spinning Around tops the charts as she becomes the 3rd artist in UK history to have a #1 song in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Spinning around, move out of my way. I know you're feeling me 'cause you like it like this. I'm breaking it down.
Feels like a pretty good thing to add to the Hall of Fame resume chart, I'd say. Kind of like LeBron and they say Tom Brady. He had like a Hall of Fame career in each decade.
Oh, yeah,
I
there
mean,
you
a
go,
number
yeah.
one
I mean,
song
yeah.
in 3 different decades. That's
wild.
tough to beat there. Speaking of LeBron James, he was in the headlines yesterday, but on this date back in 2018, he agrees to a 4-year, $154 million deal to join the LA Lakers. And then last one here, I threw this one in just for you, Tito. On this date in 2020, it's weird. Sort of coming out of the pandemic, at least the harshest periods of it there, I guess maybe a little bit. Russian President Vladimir Putin wins national referendum allowing longer presidential terms of office. So good for him. So speaking of Hall of Fame runs,
Pat on the back right there.
He's so
Yeah.
Nobody
I've
opposed
done
that.
so well, I'm going to extend
Yes.
mine.
again.
Nobody opposed
Again.
that in Russia. If they did, they're no longer with us.
Yeah, they end up missing or dead,
Yes.
or both. Some birthdays here. Born on this date in 1954. Had no idea this guy passed away so young. Honestly, he passed away in 1989. But born on this date in 1954, country music singer Keith Whitley.
Now you say it best when you say nothing at all.
It's like
So
the
good.
Socrates of this time. Or Socrates. I'm saying, like that kind of philosophy right there.
Sure. Another big birthday here. Unfortunately, someone else who also went way too young. She passed in 1997, but born on this date in 1961, Princess Diana. Born on this date in 1960. I'm sorry, I got one more here of somebody who unfortunately passed. Born on this date in 1962, passed away just a few years ago in 2023. Actor Andre Brower, or Brower, one of the
Brower,
two.
yes.
Brower. Okay, he.
Great, man. God, I love that guy.
So
Homicide Life on the
funny.
Street.
He was fantastic in Brooklyn
Yeah.
Nine-Nine as Captain Holt there for the sitcom. Some people who are fortunately still with us. Turning 70 years old today, best known for Ferris Bueller's Day Off and also Succession. Actor Alan Ruck turned 70 today.
I'm so disappointed in Cameron. $20 says he's sitting in his car debating about whether or not he should go out. He'll keep calling me. He'll keep calling me until I come over. He'll make me feel guilty. This is ridiculous, okay? I'll go. Damn it!
Great movie.
Yes.
Especially if you were around the high school age during that time. Really was. That, like Breakfast Club and 16 Candles. I know over there in my left there, I know that Big Mo's got a couple more in the holster there, but those are the ones I remember.
Feels like it holds up pretty well, too.
Yeah.
I watched it for the first time in the last I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years, give or take, and it's like, this is enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't love it, but
Right.
I liked it.
Yeah.
And Alan Ruck, have you guys seen Succession?
I've not seen
So
Succession.
I think I saw the first season or so, but I was into it.
He's
Yeah,
pretty great
yeah.
in that. It's a pretty entertaining show.
It is.
It's a pretty wild show, but pretty entertaining amongst HBO Max's catalog there. Turning 65 years old today. Some people know him as a 9-time gold medal winner at the Olympics. Other people know him for his national anthem rendition. Carl Lewis.
No.
All right, are we all ready?
Oh, we're ready.
When you ask that, you know it's going to be rough.
Do we have the 10-second rule on this one too or not?
We're going to break it if we
Good.
do.
Oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag. Uh-oh. I'll make up for it now.
He doesn't. Just
For
spoiler
the
alert.
land of the free.
Oh, that is
That would be so tough to get out there and do
It's
that.
so funny.
And just know you're not going to, you're not going to hit it out of the park.
That SportsCenter highlight where Charlie Steiner, I don't know if you've ever seen that before. If you look on SportsCenter when Charlie Steiner is discussing this, and Charlie Steiner is famous for losing it and can't compose himself once he gets laughing.
Oh, yes.
And then
Okay.
Charlie
Now that I
Steiner
see his
says
face,
at the
that
end of
was
it, yeah, he says
the video I
he says
pulled to
that
play.
that song written by Francis Scott off key.
That is that's pretty good right there. Rapper Missy Elliott turns 55 today.
Come on, is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive, it's why I need number. It's your primitive, it's why I need number. If you got a big, let me search it.
Peter wants me to sing today. It wasn't gonna be that one. I could have done it, but it wouldn't have gone well. And also, it wouldn't have really felt. It wouldn't like been my.
Yeah, they liked it a little bit.
Yeah, but it would have been like in my.
Would have been
wheelbase.
entertaining.
It would have been entertaining, yes, but not really in my morality line. If I say it.
Actress, among other things,
Uh-oh.
Pamela Anderson turns 54 years old today. The rapper Plies turning 50 years old today.
A half damn meal, that's what the whip cost me. $100, that's what the poop cost me. And when the thought hate, that's when the lost me. Fantastical, that's what the bras call me. Why y'all trick?
I'm just fine. 12:45, Tito. It's about that time.
I've never heard that, and I've never.
I was
heard that
waiting
guy.
for you to
You've
sing
never
that one.
heard "Lose My Mind" by Jeezy?
No, I've
Oh
never.
man,
I'm
you're missing out. It's a pretty good
Apparently
song.
I am, yes.
That was kind of the only part I could play of Plies.
Well, yeah, there wasn't much.
His other
How do you spell
words,
plies?
Plies.
Okay.
His other
Put that on your Spotify.
parts of the song are either colorful language
Yeah.
or what's the word I'm looking for?
Like maybe
Kind of has
questionable
other
lyrics?
Innuendos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, there you
Yeah.
go. Yes, thank you, JC. A couple more birthdays here. Former Buckeye safety, 10 years in the NFL. Kurt Coleman turning 38 years old today. And then last but not least, turning 23. I honestly thought she was older than this, but good for her. Singer Tate McRae turning 23 years old today.
So sure of yourself, baby, don't get greedy. Want it well.
Nothing?
Sorry.
Isn't she dating Herbert, the quarterback?
No, that would be Madison Beer.
I
Another
knew-
singer, though.
She's a singer,
Probably
right?
in that
Yeah.
age
Okay,
range.
yeah. So
Pretty
I'm kinda
attractive,
there,
So
yeah.
you're not totally
Yeah,
off.
I'm not totally
She
off.
was dating Cole Sillinger of the Jackets for a little while. And then,
But she also
if you
requested a
believe
trade.
the rumors, he cheated on her. That's just what the internet says.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true,
Right, that's
but
fine.
that's what she
It just-
claims.
yeah.
So take that for whatever it's worth. But yeah.
Didn't have that in our show sheet for today. Cole Sillinger.
Any
Cheater?
word on Cole Sillinger?
That right there. That's your
You know
poll
what?
question.
Zach Werenski.
Oh,
Cheater.
yeah. I like Cole
We'll
Sillinger
get to
more than
that
Zach
later.
Werenski now. Yes.
Yeah. At least some
Reliable.
people. You know, there's a line across. I
Yes.
don't know if Cole Sillinger crossed it, but it feels like Werenski did. And then got a handful of passings here, guys. On this date, all the way back in 1860, Charles Goodyear passed away at the age of 59. If you know that last name, it's probably reason. He discovered the vulcanization process for rubber, which we still use today to make tires. Hence, Goodyear tires.
And then we have Vulcans in Star Trek.
Shout out Akron. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the Spock was a Vulcan.
Sure.
I think you might be right about that. That was one of my dad's big. Didn't he do the
Yeah,
finger
yeah.
thing? So my dad did
Live
this at
long-
every
live long
kid's
and
wedding.
prosper.
Live long and prosper when he gave his
And
speech.
so they stole that from
Yeah.
Goodyear as Vulcanization. That's
Yeah.
he was Vulcan from the planet Vulcan.
That's where the tires came from.
Yeah, apparently so.
Thanks, Spock.
Yes.
Thanks.
Spockify.
There you go. Bet we didn't have that one on the bingo
No.
card either,
Yeah,
honestly.
well, we're setting records.
Passing away on this date in 1896 at the age of 85, Harriet Beecher, I think it is.
Harriet Beecher Stowe, yep.
Yep, the author of Uncle Tom's Cabin. And then a couple more recent ones here. Passing away, sadly, at the age of 54 on this date in 1991, Michael Landon, best known for his time on Little House on the Prairie and Bonanza.
I think you have to have a sense of humor about everything. I don't find this particularly funny, but if you're going to try to go on, if you're going to try to beat something, you're not going to do it standing in the corner.
What Landon was trying to beat was inoperable cancer. But this 1991 press conference announcing his condition to the world was actually laced with humor.
When you come out of this, how will you live life differently?
Well, I certainly like the way you phrased that. Would you like to stay for dinner? I think every moment just gets a little more important after something like this. Things that you probably wouldn't notice become important.
It's a heck of a positive mindset there,
Yeah,
considering
that'd be
what
tough.
he was facing,
But
unfortunately.
we know what happened.
And then last one here on this date in 2004, actor Marlon Brando passed away at the age of 80, best known for his role in The Godfather.
Godfather, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you? Is this how you turn out a Hollywood Pinocchio that cries like a woman? What can I do? What can I do? What is that nonsense? Ridiculous. You spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good. Because a man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man. Come on. You look terrible. I want you to eat. I want you to rest well, and a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
It's too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Making him an offer he can't refuse, Tito. And then last but not least, holidays and observances today. It is International Joke Day, Canada Day, and American Zoo Day. If you go to the zoo today, you are crazy because it's going to be about 100 million degrees out there. Maybe give it a week or so. That's what I got for you guys here. July 1st, 2026, the 182nd day of the year. Halfway home to 2027. We have 183 days left in 2026.
There's one more thing that happened 1 year ago today.
Ooh.
Do either of you know what that was?
July 1st.
I do because I saw it in the chat.
Oh, see, that's
I'm not a
cheating.
part of the chat.
You're
So.
not a part of the chat, yeah. It was Shark's last day. Shark's last day.
Truly
and
one of the greatest men I've ever met in my entire life. I texted Shark a couple weeks ago and we got down to Destin because he stays, or I think I don't know if it's an annual basis, but I think maybe close to, at the same condo that we do when we go down. So I sent him a picture from the beach. I just joked. It's like, enjoying my own retirement. He's like, that's awesome. I should say my 1 week retirement.
Right, yeah.
He's like, that's great. Like,
maybe
enjoy it.
Heart skip a beat there, Bodie. Let's not talk about you retiring anytime. So, yeah, but Shark, though, look, legend in this town. I first met him back in the 90s when I was working for Damon's Restaurants, and I was hosting the trivia nights and stuff and putting the stuff on the screen. That was my job. And he came in with the Blitz I think he came in, it was him for the Blitz. Rothman came in for Channel 6. Maybe a guy named Clark Donnelly. I don't know if he's still around or not. I mean, he's alive, but I'm sure he's still like on the media scene somewhere, but I know he did some radio stuff after that. But came in for a sports trivia night. Shark comes in with his it was in the 90s, but still had a 70s mustache, which was amazing. But jet black hair, super cool and very nice. Kind of big time. But I'm not going to talk about that now. I was like, hey, Mark the Shark, nice to meet you. That's great, kid. Get me a beer. But anyway, but that's when I first met Shark, and I got to work with him we did a lot of shows together. Love Shark. And Bodie, trust me, I'm glad you're here. I miss Shark. I miss seeing Shark as often as I did. He was, and because also it would always tick Bobby off because Shark and I would somehow work in old baseball talk into the show, which Bobby could not participate in. Like, who was the best second baseman in the 1950s, things like that Bobby would not get in on. It would bother him, but nonetheless, last day for Shark, and like I say, Beamer came in to host them for a while, and Schlegs came in person, and it was a wonderful, wonderful day. Shark's family was here, but that was all 1 year ago today. Coming up next, Shark retired a year ago. This guy's not retiring. He's going somewhere else. He's taking his talents to where? We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief. Regenerative treatments help repair damaged tissue. No surgery, downtime, or steroids.
So after I got done playing football, I still like to work out, go do all of the activities that I love so much. And unfortunately, I started having a little bit of pain in my knee. That's when I went and saw my friends at QC Kinetics. We were able to go in there, get the consultation, get treated, and now my knees, well, they're as good as new.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. Better starts here.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I moved back to Columbus with my beautiful wife and our 2 amazing daughters and our golden retriever, Harley. This community brought me back because this is where I feel connected. Where my daughters were born, this is my home. And that is to say, I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver. And Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you a chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's most iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join a league, or bring the entire office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great drinks and food right here or next door with the Gavi and Ride. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who has what it takes. Don't miss out. Book your race today. OutlawSimRacing.com.
Delaware County Veteran Services is a county office that faithfully assists veterans of Delaware County. Although not the Department of Veterans Affairs, we help veterans and their dependents navigate through the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA, and we provide transportation to VA medical facilities. So if you're a military veteran or a spouse of a veteran, schedule your appointment today. A wide range of VA and local benefits may be available to you. Delaware County Veteran Services, conveniently located in the historic courthouse in Delaware.
Tito has had 2 wives. They've both been named Heather. If you know someone named Heather, please warn her. This is Morning Juice.
I guess we're back. I was still doing my 40-year-old virgin thing there. I was doing that right there. With that.
That's a great scene.
Both y'all.
You ever heard of the Rolling 20s?
You ever? I can't say the next
no,
line.
Don't keep going.
But I would.
Be careful.
Okay.
A lot of profane language in that.
What a great movie.
Scene there.
Yes. What a great movie. That's the first time I saw Kevin Hart.
I don't know how they got through that scene without just dying.
Yes, that was hysterical. By the way, the guy who made the comment that you said about the dark and cloudy thing, I think that guy's in jail for murder.
Nice.
I believe he murdered like a girlfriend or wife or.
See if we can get the IT.
Find out on that. I think he was accused. I know that. I don't know if he's ever convicted. Convicted? No.
OJ
never
was
convicted.
accused as well.
Right. Maybe it's an OJ thing. You're right. Maybe this guy will be honored at the Bills' new stadium.
What was that guy's name in the movie? It wasn't a very big role, was it?
No, but there were 2 guys you could somehow profile it and say.
That's fair. Yeah.
You could just say that, non-star, non-English speaking.
Supporting cast.
Yeah, you could do all those different things and figure it out. But yeah, I think that was the guy.
Really?
I've never seen anything else. You got there, Bodes?
Maybe still looking, yeah. I might need a few minutes here.
I don't know. Anyway, all right. LeBron James has said he's going to play his 24th NBA season.
Man.
That's unbelievable, by the way.
That's
just like
nuts, isn't it?
Come on.
At a high clip, too?
2.5 yes.
I mean.
2.5 decades.
That is wild.
If I tell you he's still a top 10 player, would you say yes, or would you say maybe top 15, top 20? Where would you put him?
Yeah, I'd probably go more top 15.
Top 15?
Because at this point, like, especially as far as like the postseason goes, just that every other day grind for 2 months. like he just doesn't have quite that anymore, which is fine. Like it's pretty
Yeah,
reasonable.
he shouldn't
for a
have that
41-year-old
anymore.
guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that you can go quite top 10. But the fact that it's even.
But if you get him into the playoff scenario, I mean, he can turn into a top 10 player for that amount of games.
He
maybe,
won that first series without Doncic and without Reeves for the Lakers. He really carried that one. But now he said he's not going to play in L.A. Not going to play for the Lakers. He's not in L.A. He's not going to play for Clippers. Who are we kidding? He's not going to play for the Lakers next year. The Lakers now have like $50 million in cap space. They're going to figure out what they're going to do with that. But LeBron is now a free agent. And
is it true that he waited till his son's contract was fully guaranteed, and then the next day he bounced?
Yeah, it could be because $2.5 million.
I've seen that a couple different places. I didn't look into it to see if it was true or not. But
I'll be honest, $2.5 million is really awesome. It's chump change in the NBA. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like
LeBron's brought more than $2 million into that organization over the last 8 years.
There was with free agency starting yesterday. He may have waited for that moment, but I don't know. But the thing I want to know, though, is like what – and Bobby and I touched on this a little bit yesterday, but what does LeBron want? Mm-hmm. Now, I do think he wants to win a title. All right? Now, you could win a title by going to a few different teams. You could help out your cause winning a title. But does he also want to win a title on a fourth different team? Like, does that matter to him? Because no one's done what he's done as far as that kind of role, being like a key player on 4 different franchises championship teams. And so if that's the case, then I would think, and I said it yesterday, I would love to see him if he says, you know what, I'm not going to worry about making max money, I'm not going to worry about a huge contract, I'm going to take whatever I got to take to get to a franchise that gives me a chance to win. San Antonio makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. I know they got De'Aaron Fox's contract they're trying to unload, but even if they can't, if there's a way to work it under the cap, and I got to believe there is, because there's always a way to work something under the cap, especially if it's LeBron James wanting to go there. There's a way to do it. But if LeBron wanted to win a fourth championship win a championship with 4 different team, I should say, 5th championship overall, I think San Antonio makes the most sense.
Do you think going for your 4th championship with your 4th different team hurts or helps in the he has this many championship type
Great
things?
Great question. I think it probably helps it. I understand why you might say, I mean, this guy just runs around, whatever, and he chases rings like Durant. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't really, I mean.
Well, he went to Miami for the super team.
He went to Miami because the Cavs did not give him a sporting cast.
Well.
The Cavs failed him. It was like in The Dark Knight when Bruce is, or when he's down at the bottom of the well or the bottom of the thing after all it burns down, and Michael Caine says, "I failed you." Or no, it was the last one. It was the last one.
Yes,
I failed you. I failed you. Right.
That's quotes. Yes. Actually alive. Turns out.
Yes.
Yeah. I failed you. I'm so sorry.
That's the way
he
the
looks
Cavs,
at the parents' graves.
Yes.
What a scene.
Yeah.
That's the way the Cavs should feel about when LeBron's first tenure there. I failed you.
Well, the good news is the NBA gave him the lottery 3 out of 4 years, so he could come back and win a title with Kyrie and Kevin Love.
He got forced to go somewhere else to try to win a title. 2 in 4 years. The Miami thing was stupid. He said, like, not 2, not 3, not 4. How about just 2? Anyway, and then goes back to the Cavs, wins the title there, goes to the Lakers, wins the asterisk title in the in the bubble. But nonetheless, I think it would add to his legacy now if he wins a 4th one. If he goes to a completely different franchise and a team that needs him to get over the hump, like I wouldn't say Oklahoma City, because I think that would be more Durant chasing, right?
Yeah.
But if you go with the Spurs though, in Wembanyama, all of a sudden it's like, yep, they couldn't win without me. Now they got me. Look what happens.
And he could be the true veteran piece that got him over the hump.
Right.
I honestly think wherever he goes, and maybe wherever's too strong of a phrase, because you're right. I think if he went to Oklahoma City,
right,
or the Knicks, maybe. I don't know. But honestly, and I know San Antonio was just in the finals last year, and everybody has them penciled in to win at least a title or 2 in the Wembanyama era.
For sure.
But I think pretty much wherever he goes, it'll still help his legacy because he's still a great player.
Yeah.
This isn't Ray Allen joining the Heat.
Yeah, it's more of a longevity thing, and the guy's done it at a high clip for that
he's
long.
If whatever team he were to go to, if they were to win a title next year, he would be a massive piece of it.
This isn't Fat Shaq.
This isn't this isn't, and you could help me on this a little bit more, Tito, but Karl Malone kind of tried to chase a ring with the Lakers back in 2004, right?
Yep, Malone and Payton both went there.
pretty.
He was still good.
Oh,
he
was
got
he?
hurt.
Yeah, but
he was still good. He got
okay.
hurt though. That was the thing that hurt him. Gary Payton was the one who, when they signed Malone and Payton to go with them, and Payton had a real hard time with the triangle offense that Phil Jackson was running. And Payton was more past Brian. Malone was still good. Wasn't elite, but he was still, I would still say he was a top 10 power forward in the NBA.
Okay. And where LeBron's still better than that, though.
Yeah.
Like, we're still
sure.
talking about borderline best 10 players in the league.
Yeah.
And he would be, wherever team he went, he'd still be one of the probably best 2 or 3 players, and arguably, Spurs probably still, if they won the title next year, Wembanyama would be the biggest piece there. But, and like, obviously, like, Cleveland's name has been thrown out a lot. I mean, you can make a pretty good argument that if they were to win it next spring, summer, he would probably be one of the 2 best players along with Donovan Mitchell
I would
in
think
the
so,
postseason.
too.
And so
because no, James Harden's
not
not James Harden's
quite.
top 7.
This is speaking of, which Harden he opted out of his player option.
Is that just to open some things up, maybe?
Going to happen regardless, because I think that was kind of like in the works when Cleveland acquired him back at the deadline. It's like, we don't want to pay you $42 million. Opt out of that. We'll give you, call it $30 a year for the next 2-3 years. But you want to talk about something that would be dirty, and I know they probably could never do it because it would probably not be a good look on their franchise. But Harden is opted out.
Yeah.
He plans on re-signing. Sources say that he's willing to take less if it meant LeBron coming.
Right.
If I was Cleveland, I'd be like, hey, opt out. We're going to sign LeBron, then we'll bring you back. And then once LeBron's in the fold, it's like, you know what? Actually, sorry, man.
You know what? We just started thinking about this.
We're up against it a little bit here with the cap and whatnot. But regardless, whatever team he goes to, I think it would help his legacy.
Now, hold on. Now, if he goes to the Warriors, does that help his legacy?
If they won,
I think
so.
I think it would.
Yeah, with the old group.
Again, like it would be, first off, that's probably the most entertaining scenario.
Yeah.
But also, I would say the least likely chance of getting another championship. Like Golden State, like all
they're
these
all
guys
just too old, right?
at this point. And once again, it's not that they would have a bad season, but I think the every other night grind of a 2-month playoff run would be too much for those guys. But even there, he'd still be unquestionably one of the best 2 players.
Yeah.
And like it would be very like weird and entertaining and probably be one of the more like stranger rings to ever be won by like the best players.
Yeah.
But he would still be one of the 2 best players on the team, and at that age and whatnot, for him to do it with Curry, to me, I think wherever he goes, if that team were to win a title, I think it's going to help his legacy. Not the way that like Cleveland in 2016 did. Like that's going to always be his best championship.
I mean, but what's the best storybook ending for LeBron? If this is his last year?
Okay, storybook ending, I would say is Cleveland.
Probably.
Cleveland win the thing.
Winning one in Cleveland is probably the best storybook ending.
Even if he didn't win one, too. If he came back and just had a good
took
season
a run and
came back home. But I still, honestly, though, I still think, like, I'm not sure any of these are bad storybook endings. Golden State would be really entertaining.
It'd be fun to watch.
I think if we went to San Antonio, and there's no doubt they would be really good. They're going to be really good without him. Being that guy who kind of steps in as the mentor, he's like, they have so much young talent there. But he's like, I'm going to come in and like show these guys how to win. Yeah. Like that's a pretty good storybook ending. He's still such a great player that his impact on whatever team he joins, like the last chapter of the book, assuming next year's it, I don't know, maybe he's got 2 or 3 more years. But it's like incredible. It's hard to see it not being maybe I could see Golden State falling apart because it's like he gets banged up, Curry gets banged up, and all of a sudden they're 500 or worse. But until they got banged up, it'd be entertaining. But if he went to pretty much any of the other teams that are in the mix, him and Giannis, I guess, for a year.
Are they going to give him his cookies back? Because isn't that what happened? Pat Riley took his cookies and he's I'm out of here.
Yes. There'd be some changes there. Team policy on that one. Another thing I've heard two other things too, Bodie, that would affect you. One is that they execute a sign and trade for Jaylen Brown. The Cavs do.
Okay.
And then Harden re-ups and LeBron signs. So you convince LeBron, come to Cleveland. We got Jaylen Brown, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell now.
Yeah, I mean you might be more talented today, but I think it'd probably have to be Mobley in that deal.
Yeah, Mobley won't go into the deal.
And if you're Cleveland, I don't know if that makes sense from a roster standpoint.
The other option is, let's say Boston signs and trades Jaylen Brown somewhere else. LeBron could win for Boston.
I don't think there's any. I think there's a better chance one of the 3 are suiting up for the Celtics next year than LeBron. But again, I mean, I guess it'd be entertaining.
You never know.
winning one for the Lakers, one for the Celtics. No one's ever done that as the best player. As the best player,
yeah,
no one's ever done that.
Probably not wrong on that.
That would
I'm
be
not
something
sure how many
else.
Players have ever done that. It's
No
probably
one's
not
ever
very
done. No
many.
one's ever been the best player on the Lakers.
Because those
and the
teams
best-
used to hate each other and they wouldn't go play
Right.
for the
And
other
one of
team.
the best
Now it's
players
just like,
on the
whatever.
Celtics, right. Yeah. Not to be the best player themselves because Jason Tatum, but still, he'd be a top 3 guy on the Celtics.
Probably top 2.
Probably top 2.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a top 2 guy anywhere he goes. I mean, he is just that.
3 at worst.
Yes, at worst.
What I would love to see, though, is if he signs with the Warriors, when they come out for their first, I'll say preseason games, I don't want to do this in the regular season, and they lean into the Uncle Drew stuff. And they come out like all the old players for the Warriors have got like the makeup on and like the gray hair. They come out in sweatpants,
Klay
like
Thompson,
limping
a free
around,
agent?
right? Yeah, just start limping around like that, and then just school somebody.
Everybody looks like that LeBron commercial when he was the grandpa.
Yes,
Remember that
that
one where he had
one,
a kid and like the wise one sitting up there? Like that's what LeBron looks like now. That was like 20 years ago.
Where do you want him to go? Just selfishly, for whatever
Selfishly,
reason.
I want him to go to Golden State.
I would just being the Ohio kid. I would like to see Cleveland,
Yeah.
and
It's
if they go on one more run.
For
and
me, it's
win
San
another one
Antonio
for the
or
city.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
San Antonio would be a lot of fun.
San Antonio, I think, would be cool too.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to see
Seeing
that
them
as
team
well.
up with that young group, and Victor's crazy.
You don't have to watch the regular season. Wait till the Western Conference Finals. They play Oklahoma City
Honestly,
again. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
that's all you got to do.
Yep.
But yeah, the injury thing though is what you. And the thing is, San Antonio, if they sign LeBron, say they get LeBron, they could absorb a LeBron injury and still
be good,
be a top 4 seed in the West
For sure. Yeah.
Golden State could not.
And also just kind of monitor his load throughout the year.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I think Cleveland could do that too. Minnesota's been thrown out there.
Yeah.
They
I
could
read
probably
that.
do that. That would kind of be another fun one. Him and Anthony.
Yeah, him and
Edwards.
Ant, yeah.
But,
John Morant now too, yeah.
Well, Jaws in Portland.
Oh, that's right. Who did Minnesota just get? Oh, LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I get my troubled NBA stars with off the court problems confused. That's my bad on that. When I profiled that was on me.
But they'd all be entertaining. But, yeah, Golden State's probably the only one amongst the realistic teams where he wouldn't be able to kind of load management throughout the year.
Right.
But the other teams would be able to do it. And even in the playoffs, it's like you don't need 42 minutes out of LeBron in San Antonio.
You're right, yeah.
You know, you could do
You don't need
low
him carrying
30s, I'd say,
the
and-
team for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Antonio, Golden State. Those would both be fun ones. All right, coming up next, we'll get some quick hitters, Morning Juice.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver, and Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you a chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's most iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join the league, or bring the entire office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great drinks and food right here or next door with the Gabe and Ride. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who has what it takes. Don't miss out. Book your race today. OutlawSimRacing.com.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work right alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thitoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Delaware County Veteran Services is a county office that faithfully assists veterans of Delaware County. Although not the Department of Veterans Affairs, we help veterans and their dependents navigate through the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA, and we provide transportation to VA medical facilities. So if you're a military veteran or a spouse of a veteran, schedule your appointment today. A wide range of VA and local benefits may be available to you. Delaware County Veteran Services, conveniently located in the historic courthouse in Delaware.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to speak up, or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief. Regenerative treatments help repair damaged tissue. No surgery, downtime, or steroids.
Knee pain's something I lived with since the big game, and I'm all over surgeries. That's how I found QC Kinetics. I was able to get in, see the doctors, do the treatment, and get my knee feeling basically brand new. I can work out, run, most importantly, chase my son around the house and the yard, and do my job without any pain.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. Better starts here.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Morning Juice, Tito, Jay-Z, Bodie, Big Mo in the house as well. Let's do some quick hitters, Bodie.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, Tito, let's make up for earlier's, or not make up for it, but kind of put a bow on earlier's the conversation from earlier. So Shelly Matthew Malil, who played, what was it here? I had his name pulled up in the movie. Aziz, I think it was, in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Okay. On August 10th, 2008, he stabbed his ex-girlfriend, Kendra Beebe, 23 times in San Marcos, California, after he found her with another man. He later claimed he went to Beebe's home with the intent to, quote, annihilate her. Not really a great word you ever want to use in that sort of circumstance there. He was arrested the next day after he got off, and as he got off a train in Oceanside, California. She actually survived the attack despite a severe cut to her chin, the collapse of both lungs, and the loss of about half of the blood in her body. So she's a fighter, man. God bless her. In September 2010, he was convicted of attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. That makes sense. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 12 years. He later apologized for the attack, stated that, quote, "I want to do whatever I need to make sure that I make right from the wrong that I did. Kendra Beebe did not deserve anything that happened to her. I can't even begin to imagine what she has been through." He was paroled 4 years early in September 2018. I don't know. I feel like that's
so he got life and then he got out?
Yeah. Life with a chance of out 12 years, then he gets out sooner.
8. Yeah. Kind of. I got to be honest. If I ever heard somebody say I'm going to go annihilate this person and stab them 23 times,
might not want them out on the streets.
I feel like that should just be
life in prison.
yeah,
like what you got. Yeah,
that's kind of. That's my gut reaction.
Yeah, gut reaction without knowing the case. Gut reaction, 23 stab wounds. I wanted to annihilate her.
Saying it out loud, yes. If you just think it though, I mean, I don't know about that one. But anyway, I was gonna say he can't be in the sequel probably, but you can't do a sequel to 40-Year-Old Virgin, right?
I don't think so anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be.
And I don't think we need a remake of that either.
They sang that song at the end of the movie.
Yes, right.
They got
Aquarius, on it. Right? Yeah.
And comedies too, in general, like a lot more often than not, I'd say one and done. We're good.
You would think. Yeah.
I saw something the other day. They almost made a second Talladega Nights. I was like, no, like the first one's perfect. We don't need a second one. It's
kind of like Anchorman 2. It's like,
you start to fall off more and more. Yeah. Hangover 1, fantastic. Second one, decent. Third one, like it just kind of keeps going down now. Exactly. All right, guys. A little bit of sports here as we continue to inch our way closer to the start of the college football season, as we currently sit, how about this, just 66 days away from Ohio State taking on Ball State. The preseason honors continue to roll in for the 2026 Buckeyes. On Tuesday, the Walter Camp Football Foundation released their first and second preseason All-America teams, and 3 Buckeyes made the cut. You could probably guess the 3 who were on there, especially one of them in particular, as wide receiver Jeremiah Smith and offensive lineman Luke Montgomery were listed on the first team, and quarterback Julian Sain was named to the second team. Texas leads all schools with 5 selections per Walter Camp, so those 2 teams will face off obviously week 2 down there in Austin. Indiana and Oregon each had 4, and then Ohio State, Georgia, and Notre Dame are tied for 4th, each with 3 selections apiece. But Jay-Z, those 3 guys make a lot of sense, I think, especially obviously Jeremiah Smith, and then Luke Montgomery there. And
I have Austin Sarabeld on my 11 Warriors.
Yeah, you know what? That's I'm sorry. Did I write the wrong name down? I might have.
Yeah, you might have. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. When you said Luke, when I was reading this, I was like, Luke Montgomery is the guy who I feel like should be on this list.
Austin Sarabeld, my bad.
I started thinking about other guys on the team, like who else could we have? And defensively, maybe there's nobody who's like known that they want to put out there. I mean, Terry Moore was really good the last time he played, but he's been off for a year, so you're not going to do that. So I was just thinking, like, who else could it be? And Luke was a guy who I thought, like, man, he's been pretty darn good for us. But yeah, Austin, Jeremiah, Julian being second team. I'm guessing Dante Moore is probably first team.
First team is Arch Manning.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I was
wow.
going to say one of the two. I mean,
Well,
between those two, Sayin, CJ Carr, Darian Mensah, you're probably just pick two out of a hat.
Pick a couple out
It's
of
hard
there,
to argue
for
with
sure.
any of
So,
them.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you put these things out early, you got something to talk about, but these guys got to go out and play. And, I mean, Austin, he's going to have a big year. I played golf with him a couple weeks ago. He's ready to go. He's excited about what that offensive line is going to look like, and that's just going to make Jeremiah and Julian that much better. So these guys should
Looking
all
at
be
right guard for him, you think?
I mean,
Bobby seems to think Ian Moore's going to
think
slide in
I
at
think
left tackle.
I think there's a chance. That's kind of what they're looking at and seeing if Ian Moore can take over for that. You know, but I know Austin loved playing left tackle. He smiled about it when I was talking to him about it. He's like, I love playing out there, man. It was great. And I was like, well, what are you going to play in the league? Probably guard. I'm like, well, you know, maybe you go show them this year that you can do both, and you know that'll help you out a little bit more. But you know, that's a good list. What it is. Those guys will be up there at the end of the year. That's all that matters.
With all these silly preseason teams they put in preseason watch lists and all this stuff, I think this is about the ceiling as far as where Julian's saying will appear. Not many people have him as he won't be a first team on anything.
I would agree with that.
And he'll be he might have.
Which I don't really understand. Is it just because the last two games last year? I mean, the whole team didn't play great.
I agree with what you said, but I don't necessarily agree that he never should be. I don't know. I would take Sayin over Manning right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
what is
that-
Arch? Same thing with Arch last year, and then he came to Columbus and was throwing balls into the ground. And it's like, what do we? Am I seeing something different? He did, yes, but I mean, Julian had a 77% completion percentage all year long.
Let's not
you know?
let
the name kind of get in the way.
Big Ten championship game.
Well,
and
yeah,
a Cotton
those
Bowl loss.
That I've always said too. It's like the thing with Sayin is, I think he gets less credit than he should because of the weapons he has.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
but Texas has 5
absolutely
first-team All-Americans. You know,
Right,
like,
but they don't have Jeremiah
everybody.
Smith.
Fair.
I'm saying, like, and so he doesn't have. Texas does not have the wide receiver pedigree Ohio State does. And if you look at Ohio State quarterbacks in the past that have had fantastic numbers, it usually has been like the narrative has been, well, yeah, how could you not? Look, you had JSN there. You had Marvin Harrison Jr. there, all these guys. Like, of course you're going to be a great quarterback in college. I'm going to say I agree with that. I think Sayin is one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the country. Watch this, though. Would you rather have CJ Carr or Julian Sayin?
Yeah, we know that answer.
Come on, what's your answer?
I do think in this case that's where it's fair to bring up the weapons.
Yeah.
And say, I think it's fair to say, I mean, you're splitting hairs.
Sure.
Like, to be very clear, you are absolutely splitting hairs to the skin of your teeth on that one. But I don't think it's unfair to say, and I don't know, I mean, even last year, though, like,
Jeremiah Love was a pretty good weapon.
Exactly.
You know?
And his backup was also a first-round pick, and that's exactly what I was going to say, Jay-Z. Is like, so, I don't know. I'll be the first to admit, too, I'm not some scout, man. I watched both of them all year. They both looked awesome in pretty much every game they played. They both had their dips, too. I mean, Carr didn't play very well against Southern Cal at all.
Right.
They absolutely won that game with defense and running the ball. Same way we're saying didn't have his best 2 performances in the final 2 games. Not that it was all on him.
Yeah.
You got to block, too, a little bit better.
Block, make some field goals, and score when you're inside the 10-yard line 3 times.
Take a chip shot field goal, and maybe you beat it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like I said a few minutes ago, between Carr, Sayin, Arch,
it's a toss-up. I mean, this time last year, it was Drew Aller's going to be the Heisman winner, and he's, the first-team All-American. And,
so
now he's in camp, and they're trying to retool his 3-step drop.
And so is Cade Klubnik, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Although I would bet on that this year's group living up to the hype. I think those guys have already showed more than some.
Well,
like
and they've been
Drew
talking
Aller
about this
ever
class
did
for
at
a
Penn
long
State.
time, too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for a couple years now. Like, that 27 class is going to be something special quarterback-wise.
Well, Arch said, or Sark said that Arch may come back another year.
No, Julian's got 3 more if you want to come back. I mean,
let's do it. This 5 for 5.
Him and Jeremiah, they could just come back and win like 3 more national championships.
Why not?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith, 2028 Ohio State weapon. We'll see. Guys, we'll head to the NBA here. The biggest news in the association yesterday was certainly LeBron James announcing that he would be returning for his 24th season, but would not be in LA as he's set to leave the LA Lakers after 8 seasons with the franchise. The second biggest news of the day, though, also kind of an older guy, also came out of LA as the Clippers are sending Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors in exchange for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 unprotected first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and 2 second-round picks. It's a full-circle moment for Leonard as he returns to the franchise, where he spent just 1 season in 2018-2019, but all he did in that 1 year was lead Toronto to the championship, their only in franchise history, when they beat the Golden State Warriors in the 2019 finals, and Leonard was the far and away best player and won Finals MVP there. And Tito, a rather somber moment here for the Clippers. They've obviously always lived in the shadow of the Lakers. They made that huge move several years ago to acquire PG and Kawhi. All that got them was one conference finals trip, one other trip out of the first round, and just a bunch of load management and, unfortunately for their fans, disappointment.
Kawhi Leonard averaged 27.9 points a game last year.
He was still great when he played.
Played 65 games, which is pretty good there.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
You would take, if you're Toronto,
yeah.
and I told you he's going to play 65, you would sign up for that in a heartbeat.
He played 37 the year before, 68 the year before that, and then he had those injuries. In 2020, 2021, he played 52 games. He was hurt the next year, didn't play at all, then 52 the next season, but 65
and
plus games.
And to be fair, some of those seasons were COVID shortened.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, you're right. That was COVID shortened that one. But I don't know if he. And I wouldn't have said this 3 years ago, but I'm gonna say it now. He might be underrated.
I don't know that I would disagree with that.
You know what I mean? Before I was like, oh no, this guy.
He's kind of gone away for a couple years and just kind of was living there, scoring 27 a game.
I mean,
nobody was watching him.
28 points a game last year in 65 games. That's damn good. And so that's why I like the move for Toronto. I think that we talked about the I failed you. I think Steve Ballmer could say the same thing. Or maybe Kawhi Leonard and Paul George say it back to Steve Ballmer.
Yeah, they all.
I don't know.
That might be the Spider-Man.
It sounded like Kawhi had a bunch of injury stuff.
The Spider-Man. They're all doing each other. Yes.
You could have done better. I could have done better. He could have done better.
And then we also wait to see what happens with this other off the court stuff with the money. I can't remember what the name of the company was.
Starts with an A, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I'm pretty sure.
A company.
I'm not on top of this one.
No, it's the one where like
Aspiration.
Where it's a company that Steve Ballmer invested like $50 million in, some ridiculous number. And they hired Kawhi Leonard to be a spokesman for them or do stuff for them, and he never did anything. And he got paid
no-show job.
He got paid.
It's like the mob.
Hey, or like Ohio State. Anyway, no, I'm not saying no. That was I should have said that. Anyway, though, but he got, and then Kawhi Leonard signs a deal with them, and the NBA is saying like they think that the Clippers and Ballmer may have circumvented the salary cap to give him more money to play for the Clippers than somewhere else. And so so that's the big Pablo Torre story came out with. But so I don't know what the follow-up's going to be from that. But you remember when the Timberwolves did with Joe Smith, where they tried to negotiate with him and do something with Joe Smith off the books,
I don't remember this one.
The T-Wolves got dinged like 3 or 4 first-round picks in that, plus not to mention the millions of dollars. But, there's like 3 or 4 first-round picks they got dinged for something like this. I wonder if the Clippers, that'll happen with them, which may be a good reason also to get rid of Kawhi Leonard.
It's interesting, though, because I do think he's still in that LeBron camp of, like, can he be the best player on a title? And Toronto's not going to be what maybe San Antonio or Cleveland could be with LeBron, but you still have a player at this age. Don't know that he can do it every other night in the postseason, but he's still damn good. And then it's these first-round picks like this going out in some of these trades. I just don't know what to make of them anymore with the new lottery rules.
With lottery, your trades like it's top 5 protected. Well, what if you don't get top 5 year before because of the thing that counts? I don't know all the rules on it. It's going to be crazy to see what happens there. Coming up next, we already said that Julian Sain was the number 2 quarterback on the All-American team for Walter Camp. But where's Ohio State rank in the top 10 college football rooms for quarterbacks? We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up, or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief.
Hi, I'm Bobby Carpenter.
And I'm Jake Ballard.
And we are both QC Kinetics believers. We are both pain-free in the knees.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work right alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver, and Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you a chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's most iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join a league, or bring the entire office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great drinks and food right here or next door with the Galvan Ride. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who has what it takes. Don't miss out. Book your race today. OutlawSimRacing.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite Fan shows? I don't know. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Tito, Jay-Z, Bodie Wells, Big Mo. Thanks for tuning in. College football's 10 best quarterback rooms there, Jay-Z. This is according to CBS Sports. Now, we just said that Ohio State, in all likelihood, has the number 2, number 1, number 3, number 4, somewhere in there, quarterback in the country. So, but Ohio State, according to this list about best quarterback rooms, has Ohio State ranked 5th. Behind Ole Miss and almost right in front of and LSU right behind them. But the top 4, as far as quarterback, I've got a real problem with the first one. And part of it's because I don't like the guy. And it's not the starter. But they got Oregon at number 1. Dante Moore, yes, great quarterback. He's going to have a good season in Oregon this year, I have to believe. But I hate Dylan Raiola. I have no...
You and most of America.
I have there's 2 people I don't have much faith in college sports. One of them... It's Kurt Signetti. I know, okay, I'm not doing this today. But the other one, though, would be Dylan Raiola. Like, Dylan Raiola, I just think he's a fraud.
I don't know how he's ever going to get married because any girl that dates him is going to just be like,
right.
How many different schools did you go to?
Exactly.
There's no chance you're just going to settle down with me.
And I'm going to this state to go to play high school football because I'm committed. I'm going to help recruit. Okay, now I'm going to this state and I'm committed. Now I'm going to this. Okay, now I found it.
Now I went somewhere and I started for 2 years, and now I'm going somewhere else.
So that is what CBS Sports has as their number 1.
I mean, I get that because at least he started for 2 seasons in the Big Ten. Was decent doing so I can understand why that room would probably be number 1.
We're not going to ask Bodie, would you rather have Dylan Raiola or CJ Carr, though? Number 2.
Yeah, I feel
Notre Dame was trying to get him really hard, I think.
That's like when Tate Martell the other day came out and said when he went to Miami, they told me he was too short, wanted to make him a kicker after he transferred from Ohio State. Maybe Notre Dame needs Dylan Raiola for a kicker. I don't know what their kicking situation is.
Get CJ's water for him.
There you go. Texas Longhorns at number 2. They added MJ Morris, who's got 10 starts in his career over a couple of different programs, but he is their backup there. Number 3, the Utah Utes. Ooh. Devin Dampier, dual threat quarterback out there. In the last 2 years has more than 7,250 yards and 65 touchdowns he's produced. And so and then Ole Miss with the Trinidad Chambliss thing, they're listed as 4th. I feel like, I'm using my marriage counseling words now, when I say I feel like that if Tavion St. Clair got more playing time, for whatever reason, I'm not saying I want to do it at the expense of Julian Sain last year, but like if he had more playing time, more tape, in important games in college football, Ohio State would be ranked higher. Like I believe in Tavion St. Clair, and I think that part of the reason why they're 5th is because people have not seen very much of him. You mentioned the Raiola thing. like it or love it, like it or love him, like him or love him, there's significant tape out there on Raiola. Not always. He doesn't always do the best thing. We've seen him against Ohio State. Wasn't Ohio State where he blew it with like the sack at the end? Was that the Ohio State Nebraska game where like down near the end?
Sounds vaguely right.
Where
in
like
2014. That was a long time ago. 2024.
Yeah, something like that. Where like he threw a bad pass and then took a sack when he wasn't supposed to. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It happened in a game though where Dylan Raiola did do that. I keep thinking of Ohio State because I can't think of another reason why I'd watch a Nebraska football game.
I think you were. That game was really close a couple years ago.
That must be the one I'm thinking of. Then yes,
I think you're right.
Where Raiola made like in the last drive. When they've got it first down, I think, on 3 consecutive plays, made awful decisions. And ended up in the game ended after that. But I think that's the case. So I wonder if somebody in the chat may have that information. I think that's what it was, though. So, but the fact that Raiola, you've seen Raiola throw touchdown passes in college football. You've seen him have decent runs at some point in college football, and that's probably why they're ranked higher. I would take Tavion St. Clair over Dylan Raiola right now.
Yes, I agree with that. And, it is what it is. I mean, you get Arch at number 2. Everybody just loves Arch. It's been 2 years in a row that we've had that shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
They bring in a guy who has 10 career starts across multiple programs. All right, that's all right. What's that mean? Because if it was an actual program that we cared about, you would have listed it in the article, in my opinion.
Was it
Utah? I mean, what are we doing here? Julian was at the Heisman last year. That should at least give you a bump. I mean, I know we're only 5. And
only
it doesn't
returning
matter,
Heisman finalists. Only returning Heisman finalists.
So and you're not in the top 3 because you don't really know what the backup is. We don't really know what any of these backups are.
I know.
mean, Dylan's probably the only backup we know the most about because he has actually started in the Big Ten for a couple years.
Right.
But all these other ones, all right, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Tavion, if he has to go in, I mean, you saw in the spring game, he's got a laser of an arm.
He does.
He's a crazy big, crazy athletic. He is a kid that could go out there if needed, and they can make something happen with him. Is he going to be a Julian saying type accuracy and finding the right guy every time? Maybe not right now. But in that instance, if you have to play him, he's going to give you something that you're going to be able to work with. And I would take him over any of those backups.
Did you find that, Bodie, or not?
On the
it was a 21-17 game.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Oh shoot, I did click away from.
Don't worry about it. No, I'll get over here. I was going to say though, with you guys mentioned before about how this 5 for 5 thing, how. Sayin could come back next year.
Sayin and Jeremiah
both could come back next year.
Well, Sayin already could.
Yeah, you could. You're right. You already could.
And so could Jeremiah.
Yeah, so could Jeremiah.
Yeah.
They both.
They
could.
would be.
Well, I guess
2 more years after this one.
Yeah, after this one. Yes,
I think.
Yeah.
It was 21-17. Nebraska had the ball 1st and 10 on their own 24 with 3:36 left. Dylan Raiola completed a pass, but there was pass interference on Nebraska. That pushed them back to the 12. Then shotgun, Dylan Raiola, incomplete short middle. It was targeting Arvell Reese that, put him up then to 1st and 10 on the Nebraska 46. False start on Nebraska. Raiola pass complete for 3 yards. Now we're at the 2-minute warning. Completed a pass for -1 yard, Raiola did, and then he was intercepted. That's what it was. So intercepted.
So just an ugly last series.
Right. But if... And, JC, I want to get your take on this. I've talked about it on the show before with Bobby and with Bodie. But what would happen if Sayin came back? What would happen with Tavion St. Clair at that point? Because I can't expect him to sit for another year.
Why? Why not? I mean, if you're at a place like Ohio State, you're being, trained underneath the guy who has been to the Heisman ceremony, who knows what happens this year. If he comes back, you're learning more from him. You're just sitting waiting your time.
I mean, I could think of a few million reasons.
There's
why.
that, but he's also, if that were to happen, he's not going to have enough film for somebody to go out and say, "Hey, we want to give you a bunch of this money."
I don't know that teams care about that.
They
honestly.
might not.
I think if you're a
Texas Tech
decent power level
people
school,
think that, I mean,
or even let's say Sam,
if you're coming from Ohio State,
they
know
LSU,
what you're doing.
And Lane Kiffin, maybe they strike out on a couple guys early in the portal. They're like, well, shoot.
There's that.
St. Clair.
I mean, I think he has an Ohio State tattoo on his arm, doesn't he?
Look, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's just like, I don't think you can ever roll it out.
That's today's world, right? Like you can't. Now he's going to make up backup money.
Yeah,
which.
And I would guess Ohio State would try to pay him. I would guess he'd be darn near the highest paid backup in the country.
If they realize we don't want him to leave, they'll make sure they do what they have to do for him. But he's also being an Ohio kid, just knowing what this program has been able to do and put people in the NFL. Like, why? Yes, I know you want to play, but even if Julian came back, he would have what, 2 more years after that? Or 3 more years after that?
I think 2 more.
Would it be 2?
Yep.
Because he redshirted last year? Or he played last
2 years
year.
ago, played last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's been here 2 years.
Yeah, it'd be 5 for 5, but on that one.
But 2 years is enough for a starting quarterback at Ohio State.
One year's
go
enough,
on and
right?
do,
I mean, what was it? Haskins was 1 year.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Dwayne was 1 year. Yeah,
Dwayne was 1 year. But
I'd call it about 50-50.
That he would
stays
stay
or leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is going next level when I say this, but I wonder.
Take it to the limit.
Yes, I wonder if
one more time.
I wonder if how Lincoln Kienholz performs this year would impact that in any. I'm not saying it would it's not apples to apples. I get that.
Yeah.
Kienholz and Tavion are 2 different quarterbacks.
I think that's fair, though.
But you've got Kienholz, though, who spent time in this system.
Yeah.
Now, if he goes and falls flat on his face at Louisville, all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe.
He was in a battle with Julian.
Right. And then you say, so maybe Tavion. But if he goes out there and balls the hell out and plays great, then it's like, look what Ohio State does with guys that don't start for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe all of a sudden it's like Tavion St. Clair, that would increase. Like if I'm Tavion St. Clair this year, no matter what, I am forever rooting for Louisville and Lincoln Kienholz.
Yeah. Because
it could certainly affect his wallet somewhere down the road if Kienholz does something great. But I know that I gotta believe I gotta believe, Justin, you went through all this. Like it's tough to sit.
Oh yeah.
And not start. Don't laugh like that. But I'm saying,
no,
you went through it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one guy that can play at that position.
Yes.
And you grow up being that guy your whole life.
Yeah.
And then you get there, and I mean, it was tough being redshirted.
Right.
It absolutely sucked because you're like, I'm doing nothing to help this game. Like
you would have left if these rules were in place.
Oh,
right?
if these rules were in place,
you would have left.
I would have
Considered it.
I would have probably left.
Yeah.
Because I did want to play, and I thought I could play.
Yeah.
And somebody would have probably given me something to come.
I would think so. Yeah.
And not back up somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But that had been going into my last year. My junior year,
I
we
guess
were
you're
still
right.
doing the whole juggling thing.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to start the Texas game? Blah, blah, blah. So that, they would have had me hooked in there anyways because I thought I had a chance. But my senior year, writing was pretty much on the wall. Unless something bad happened to the starter, which you never wish on anybody. But yeah, I would have left, but that was only 1 year.
You're better than me. I would have wished it on him.
If I'd have known he was leaving and I had another year after that, I'm like, all right, maybe something happens this year, I get some playing time. If not, I'm going to be the guy next year.
How tough was that going through all that? Like but when you're battling for the job and it's like this is what, and it's not like you were the 50th best quarterback in the country coming to Ohio State. It's like there was all these guys that were rated higher than you. Yeah. And so it's like there was just this one guy in front of you right now, and that's what it was. And did you feel a lot of pressure on yourself week to week, practice to practice? Like, this has got to be great.
During our sophomore year when it was like the battle, going into the season, yeah. I mean, it was like every practice, like, that was a bad ball. Like that's going to count against me or, whatever you think in your head. I remember one time, Joe Davis was like, okay, have another one of those, like that kind of practice. I was like, all right, okay, I didn't think it was that bad, but here we go.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. But yes, I mean, it's a tough deal. But that going into it, you got to battle, and that's just how it goes. Now the other thing with St. Clair is, who knows what other quarterback we bring in?
Well, that's the thing
as
too.
we go on your recruiting process and the transfer portal and everything else.
Look at the trickle down effect of that. The trickle down effect. I think I said triple down, but it's trickle down is what I meant to say. Yeah, either way. But anyway, like Stan says, okay, after the season, great year, whatever. I'm coming back again. I'm not leaving. Whatever the Leonardo DiCaprio thing is there. But anyway, he says so. St. Clair then he could say I'm staying also, and then does the next quarterback in the pipeline say, you know what? St. Clair's going to start after Sayin goes. Now I'm talking about sitting another year. Do I now decommit and go somewhere else? Or however that's going to work, though. Yeah. Or if St. Clair says, I do want to go start this following year in 2027. And so then that might also change the way the recruiting goes on that. There's just so many different things that could happen from that to where, depending on what Sayin does or what Ohio State wants Sayin to do. Yeah. Because there's always a possibility. I know. Tinfoil hat here. There's always a possibility that Ohio State says, you know what, you really played well for us, but we kind of want to see we have a St. Clair. We're not going to pay you the same kind of money, and then maybe that. But I don't think that would happen.
If he goes out and has a good year, though, good, strong year,
right?
That's going to be really hard to say, thanks, but no thanks. We're like, okay, we'll have you back.
I still think it's very important this year that Ohio State does get St. Clair some meaningful snaps. I'm not saying put him in there in the 2-minute drill in a game you've got to win at the end, but if –
that's one thing I've always kind of been upset with Ryan about. He doesn't get I don't feel like he got his backups in the last few years enough opportunity the year before.
And didn't we see it with Keen Holes?
You had McCord and Devin Brown.
Right.
And she's like, Devin Brown's not going to be here next year.
Yeah.
Bring a younger guy in.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. Or you get into games where it's like over. Like, all right, let's throw some younger guys in. I think that helps a younger quarterback, just get some of that experience. But I just don't feel like we do a ton of that here. And so this year, maybe it'll be different. Maybe, if we got a tough schedule, though. I don't know that there's going to be there's going to be a handful of games where we should be up and we should be able to get guys quarters or, maybe a half. But
that's where I hope they play with
few and far between.
The up-tempo then, and they really try to get out against Ball State and Kent State. No offense, Ball State and Kent State or MAC people, but offense. And get out to like a 45-point lead at the half. Yeah. And just go out there and just start steamrolling them to where, and then you can sit Sayin now and sit Jeremiah. But the downside of that is then it also hurts their stats for the Heisman thing.
Well, and I was going to say, too, I think the tough part with that,
yeah.
I totally get what you're saying, and I don't think you're wrong. I don't know how much it's meaningful snaps as much as it is, and Jay-Z, feel free to jump in here and tell me how right or wrong I am, but like as much as it is snaps with the first team offense.
Oh, yeah.
But the bad is like, do you want to leave Sarah Veld in for an entire second half? And I know, you're not saying like the entire second half, but like if you're up 45-0 at half against Ball State,
right?
How many of those offensive linemen do you want to leave in to let St. Clair run the offense? But like you're planning on playing another 15, 16 game season this year, and like it's a really tough balance. I don't know what is right or wrong, to be honest with you. I
think last year we felt like, hey, we're doing a really good job of keeping snaps off these guys, and we're running, we're going slow and methodical, and then you get to the playoffs, and a team like Miami, I think they rotated like 40 dudes throughout the entire season, and they went hard. So it's like, so you can do both.
Yeah.
Both work. You just got to figure out what your team is, how you want to run it. This may be a year where they do lean on the offense a little bit. When last year it was like, all right, our defense is pretty. We found out that first game, our defense is pretty dang good. We're going to bring this along slowly. We got a new quarterback. We don't want to put too much on him. This might be a year where it's like, Ball State, hey, Julian, it's on you.
Yeah.
You're going to
pedal to the floor.
Yeah, we're going, and we're going to show. We're going to come out hot right away.
Yeah.
And, with the offensive linemen, I think you give them, one or two in the second half, first team, because they need work too, especially early on in the season. So I don't know that you want to rip them out right away. So maybe you get St. Clair with those guys for a couple series.
Yeah.
But then in those games, as you get into the third or fourth, if our second team offensive line can't get the job done at that point in time, we're in bigger trouble, going down the road. So I feel like we should still have an advantage and still have an offensive line that can give him some time to go through some reads and do that sort of thing.
I hope that Ryan Day gets ripped this year.
Well,
that's going to happen no matter what.
Wait, I got more.
I can tell you if you want to listen to this radio station at some certain times of the day. They might beat Texas 45-0. It'll be like, well, that third and 8 call though on the second drive.
Why would you run
quarter.
that?
Well, I saw this thing and somebody put into Chat GTP, like, give me a synopsis of the Big Ten teams, in a rude kind of way. And Ohio State's acts like an 11-2 season is grounds for a congressional investigation. It's like, that'd be like Ryan being fired, it's like,
so don't clip it yet. Let me finish my statement.
Okay.
I hope Ryan Day gets ripped this year.
Okay.
For running up the score.
There you go.
Now, what I mean by that is if you put Tavion in, say it's the Ball State or Kent State game and they're up 40 points at the half. Run the damn offense. Yep. Don't go in there and be conservative.
That I wholeheartedly agree with. When you hit the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter, you can run the ball.
Sure.
That's fine. But like if there's 8 minutes left, it's their job to stop them. And by the way, this ain't happy camp.
Right.
All those guys on that field, even at Ball State, are getting paid.
Yes.
So go play.
That's the thing,
and if you can't cover. Forget about Jeremiah Smith. If you
Chris
can't
Henry,
cover Brock
Boyd
getting out there for his first snaps,
we throw a couple bombs on you and we score, sorry about it.
And you don't have to, and they're not going to, because that's not how the offense works for any college football team either, for the most part. But like, they're not going out and throwing 50-yard Hail Marys every play. But it's like run off. I totally agree with you on that,
do it the same way you do it if it's the first quarter of a game against Texas. Run the same offense with Tavion St. Clair against Ball State or Kent State, whatever, the third quarter. And like you said, the 2-minute warning, I might push out to even 5 or 6 minutes, but at least give me, if you're going to put Tavion St. Clair in the second half, give me a full third quarter of real Ohio State offense with Tavion in there.
Like a quarter and a half. Like the third quarter, most of the fourth quarter, and then you can taper it down a little bit.
You mentioned, we saw it last year when Ohio State when they slowed down the game quite a bit to the point where when it got to the end of the season, they had played the equivalent of 2 fewer games because of the snaps they took. And when they had to play up-tempo, when they were behind, it didn't go great. Just like when they had to try to kick clutch field goals, because they didn't have to do a lot of that in the regular season. But
go ahead, Tito.
No, but so what I don't want to have a situation where Sayin gets hurt in the first quarter of, say, the Michigan game, and all of a sudden you bring St. Clair in, and he's never had any significant time with the ones and playing Ohio State's offense. All he's done is handoff, quick checks, all these kind of things, and no risk. I don't want that to happen.
For sure.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say sometimes, though, I do think we put, and we, not like the three of us, but just the collective Ohio State contingent, puts a little bit more on the, well, they could never ramp it up because they never did.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think Miami just kind of kicked their butt in the trenches, man. And I think that was
well,
going to happen.
threw a pick six
regardless.
on a screen
yes,
pass. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
You lost by 10 in a game that you threw a pick six when you were in the red zone, and you missed it was a 50-yard field goal from fielding, so I'm not going to kill him for that. But indoors, straight away. Yeah, it's like, it was like
that's just reality.
That's 10 points.
I saw the one in Indiana just the other day. It was like a 15-yard field
That was
goal.
like an extra point.
Yeah.
And I mean, so you're in the red zone. Let's say they, and maybe with fielding it's not a given, but let's say they at least were going to get 3 there. That was a 10-point swing. You missed another field goal. Like, I don't necessarily know. I'm not saying there's zero correlation, but I thought the game plan last year throughout the season made a lot of sense. It's a long year, man.
It did make a lot of sense,
Ohio State obviously has good depth, but you still don't want to see guys dropping like flies because you're trying to run up 85 snaps a game. I don't know how much of it. I think, like I said, I think sometimes we overplay a little bit. How much? Like, well, they couldn't ramp it up because they never tried. I don't know, man. I think Miami was just kind of better than them. At least that night.
They were good,
And
that
they were,
night, yes.
And frankly, if you go look at NFL draft talent, whatnot, they're pretty on par. Like, they had 3 first-round picks in their own right. So
Indiana's not, though. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. What I'm saying,
They might
so, but you're right, though. It is absolutely revisionist history now because what you said is true. It worked all season long.
We spent 12
until it didn't.
games saying,
and it was like, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Nope, told you. That's wrong. That was wrong. I backed up. That's what Reeser does. Reeser, we're doing the show. He'll like back up sometimes. He wants to say something. Like, hey, over there, that guy. He'll do that. I just did the same thing, Reeser. This chair right here has got me going back further than normal. But anyway, coming up next, Zach Werenski could have been traded, but he wasn't. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work right alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area. They're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Brian Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver, and Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you a chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's most iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join the league, or bring the entire office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great drinks and food right here or next door with the Gavian Ride. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who has what it takes. Don't miss out. Book your race today. OutlawSimRacing.com.
Not every weather impact day is dangerous, but plenty are inconvenient. Heavy rain during the drive home, high wind, storms that change your plans. That's where our weather impact team comes in with the details that matter the most. You can find numbers anywhere, but we give you answers. The why, the when, and what it means for you. Live, local, whenever you need it. No waiting, no guesswork. Stay in the know and be prepared with 10 TV. We know weather.
Delaware County Veteran Services is a county office that faithfully assists veterans of Delaware County. Although not the Department of Veterans Affairs, we help veterans and their dependents navigate through the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA, and we provide transportation to VA medical facilities. So if you're a military veteran or a spouse of a veteran, schedule your appointment today. A wide range of VA and local benefits may be available to you. Delaware County Veteran Services, conveniently located in the historic courthouse in Delaware.
Joint pain? How long do you got? I'm talking about my back, my elbow, and my shoulder.
24 years in the majors.
Roger the Rocket Clemens dominated the game, but even legends feel wear and tear.
I put my body through a lot for baseball. I didn't want more surgeries.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's natural healing properties to help restore joints without surgery. And the results?
Pain is gone, I'm back, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Schedule your free consultation today. Better starts here.
Probably go another 3 innings.
Bobby knows what it's like to be a winner. Tito knows what it's like to be thrown out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You're here 4 hours.
This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Spirited discussion back then. Get into another spirited discussion here because Zach Werenski vetoed a trade to the Dallas Stars yesterday. Would have sent him to Dallas last night, and Werenski's got a full no-movement clause. He reportedly he has interest in staying in the East, Tampa and Toronto being the 2 ones that he really would like to go to. But as we're getting deeper and deeper into this, I am struggling to try to pinpoint how much this could affect and will affect Zach Werenski's legacy here. Because such a beloved player here. The greatest player, no offense. Well, yeah, I'll say something about Rick Nash. He's got that picture of my wife still that bothers me. My wife's got a picture with him, I should say. And no, it's not like that kind of picture. A picture of her and him in a suite one night.
Oh, what?
No,
a suite.
In a
penthouse suite?
Like Four Seasons.
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking here? Well, Nasher,
Raiders
he
suite.
had that hockey money. He was
nothing like Tito's IC money.
I know.
During the commercial break.
Jeez.
At the CBJ game, she gets a picture taken with Rick Nash.
Oh, is that a game?
And I have never. Well, someone was playing a play-on,
yeah.
but I've often said that she's never looked at me the way she looked at Rick Nash in that picture, which is troublesome. Which is why I've got some bias against Rick Nash. But nonetheless, Werenski is the greatest player in Jackets history, and coming off the Norris Trophy and all these things, and the fact that he has been here. The last 4 years, the Jackets have gotten better each year, points-wise. But now he's doing this, and now on top of that, it comes out he vetoed a trade. Like, hey, trade me, but only here. He's well within his right to do that. But I wonder how fans are going to react to this and how they'll react. If Zach Werenski happens to be on this roster game 1 this season, how will Jackets fans, you think, receive him?
I mean, I think that aspect of it will be water under the bridge at that moment or at that time. Like, if he's still there, like, all right, it's hockey season. We hope to have, a run at the playoffs after what happened last year. That's going to be the same type of thing at Washington this year with that DeMond Williams who tried to leave, their quarterback. Like, how is that going to go? I think, they're there. You're paying them. You put them on the field or on the ice and see how it goes. But, if he's not, I don't know. I guess fans might go either way on this one because, the coach was like, hey, we hugged each other and just looked each other in the eye and, like, that was that. And now all of a sudden, now we're here. Like,
right.
That just adds a little bit to it. Like, oh, what is this? Like, that might make fans a little more sour, I guess.
On the Washington comparison, the only difference I think would be there is that he had just signed a deal. Like, just before he said that, I think I want to go somewhere else. Like, he had recently signed that deal. Werenski's thing was signed a few years back, obviously, and he's played since then. But I wonder if Jack, let's just say that, no trade gets done, and we get to the first game of the season. Will Jackets fans start thinking, like, you know what? Maybe if we start winning, he'll stick around and want to stick around. Or will they think it's a lost season, he's only here to get traded, and that's it? And that's where I think it'll determine how he gets received by Jackets fans. Jackets fans are incredibly loyal. We've seen that by their attendance figures and how they followed this team. That's one playoff series in there.
The odds on that. I mean,
I know.
It shouldn't happen.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah,
I definitely lean way more towards volatile.
If he's here game 1.
Bleep you. We're done with you.
Yeah,
we
you don't want to be
trade
here.
you.
We don't want you.
Exactly, yeah. And I think I don't blame Jackets fans. I think they have every right to do that. I think that's how most sports fans would act.
Now, if we come out and win like the first 5 games, it'll switch just like that.
I think it might switch to like, hey, maybe he'll stay, but I don't know. It would probably depend on how he's playing too.
Right.
If he wasn't playing well, I'd be like, piss on him. We don't need him.
Yeah.
But if he was
he's not
playing
giving us any effort,
exceptionally
get him
well,
out of here.
but yeah, I don't. And I would be pretty surprised still at this point that if he was here
right
when camp opens. But yeah, I definitely. And I think too, it's not and this, it's maybe not fair to put this all on him, but it's like another guy who wants out.
Yeah.
Fair or not.
Just keeps happening.
It's kind of the frustrations of the franchise and whatnot, and maybe some of that piles onto Werenski. But yeah, I think it would be a pretty heavy lean towards like, screw this guy. He doesn't want to be here. We don't want him here.
And when you look at it with the Jackets, their history of the franchise, and I'm telling you now, I'm a huge Jackets fan. I love going to Jackets games. There's no but here. I love going to Jackets games. I I've been to a couple hundred Jackets games probably in my life. That's I'm exaggerating. No, don't you dare, Ohio State quarterback. I've probably been to over 100, 150 somewhere in there. I've been to playoff games there, and rarely have I ever walked out of that arena like, God, I hated that time there. Even when they lost, I still enjoyed the atmosphere. I still enjoyed going to the game. It was still an enjoyable experience for me, even when they lost. Most of the time, that was the case. But the Jackets, for the length of their franchise, it seems like there's been so many lost, like seasons that were lost before they started. Like you knew going in,
yeah, here we go.
It's going to be a tough year. They're not going to make playoffs. Maybe they'll be in playoff contention in February. Maybe. But there were a lot of years like that. And I don't know how many more years this fan base can handle lost seasons. And if Zach Werenski is still on the roster when the season starts, or if they have to trade him and not get great value out of him to where they're getting younger players. I know they said they wanted to get established players. But if it ends up being where we're sitting here in October and it's a lost season before it even gets going, I wonder how many more of those Jackets fans are going to be okay with.
And I think part of the reason why they would already be very ready to turn on Werenski if he were to still be here is, I'll be very candid with you, I'm not knowledgeable enough on the Dallas Stars roster to know like if these players coming back, like how great these players are. They're not Werenski's caliber, but it's at least fair to say that if this was the trade that Don Waddell was ready to accept, this was probably the best offer on the table. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. And so I have to at least trust his gut that would be at least a good trade or the best trade. And so now already the Jackets are getting a worse haul than that.
Yeah.
Like it's not that they have no leverage, but with Werenski having a no move clause in his contract right now, this summer at least, and then it drops down to I think 10 teams next summer if I'm not mistaken on that. Already it's like, okay, because I mentioned the other day, Tito, on Monday when we were doing the show, I was like, Werenski doesn't seem like the guy that wants to burn the bridge as soon as he crosses it. Well, he's kind of starting to pour the gasoline on it a little bit, because it's like only are you leaving us, but you're putting us in a position where maybe they have to try, maybe, and it seems likely now at this point, you're accepting a lesser offer from maybe Toronto, Tampa Bay. There's been a couple teams that have mentioned in Porty's article there this I read it this morning. Maybe it was late last night. When the news came out, I was in bed already. But as two teams you would maybe want to go to rather than Dallas. And so now it's like, not only do you want to leave, you're going to screw us on the way out the door by making the return for the trade.
Well, and you talked about earlier before the show, Dallas has been in the finals
last
5 years.
Two first-round exits, 3 Western Conference Finals exits.
So it's like we're not sending you to –
You're not going. Yeah, you're not going to throw a team up in Rochester.
Exactly.
Yeah, what? We're
so
trying
it's like
to
you want to be traded, but apparently you don't want to go to this really good team, seemingly, and what we liked as the haul. And now it's just that's just
come out and say you don't want to be here. And
let's just call it what it is. He has his right in his contract to do that, but on the flip side, Jackets fans have every right to be like, well, screw this guy then. And by the way, and Porty wrote this in an article I think that he dropped Monday. By the way, dude, maybe we would have been in the playoffs if you played a little bit better down the stretch.
Awful last 2 years down the stretch.
Yeah, and it's not all on Werenski by any stretch of the imagination, but maybe the team doesn't go 2-8-1 in their last 10 games. Or 11 games, if I can do math.
That's good.
10 or 11 games.
10.5 games.
And same thing with Marchenko down the stretch. It's like, well, you won out. Yeah. Sweet, dude. I'm so glad that you aren't happy with the lack of success here. That, by the way, you had every opportunity to make that, turn around.
When it comes to the fan side of things, when Rick Nash left, I still rooted for Rick Nash. When Foligno left, I still rooted for Foligno when they were both gone.
Yeah.
And you can talk about other sports too. If there's certain players that are part of the team that you're with, either in college or at the pro level, when they get traded or want to be traded and go somewhere else, do you still root for them? Yes or no? I don't know if Jackets fans will root for Werenski after this. I don't think they would.
I would have said 2 weeks ago, maybe not. I don't know about rooting for him to like win a cup, but
Right.
just like, hey, you gave us a lot of good years. We missed the playoffs 6 years in a row now. I understand where you're coming from. And now I'm like, yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty nasty exit. And next time he's in Nationwide Arena with whichever team he joins, JC might get a rain of booze, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you come out and you say you don't want to be somewhere, like I don't.
That's always a tough starting point.
That's not a good.
Else after
if
that,
you do it the right way, like, hey, I really love my time in Columbus. You know, this has been really great. My family loves it here, but you know, professionally, I want to go do. You know, I want to try and do this.
Yeah,
and I just don't see it happening. It would still be bad, but it's not going to be as bad as like I just had a great year for you guys. We just missed out in the playoffs. Coach is coming back. We feeling pretty good. I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here. And by the way,
the best
trade package on the table.
I'm not going to even help the team out.
No,
you know, I'm putting them in a bad situation. Then I'm not going to help.
These 2 or 3 spots.
It's an ugly look.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. I mean, when Rick left, you know, he was the first pick of the organization. And he gave a bunch of years, and that's cool. That was great.
I don't know if using the word paradigm correctly, but I'm going to try to use it. If the paradigm had switched, and let's say the last 4 years, the Jackets had been on a downturn versus an upturn. How close they were to the playoffs this year, how close the year before that, but the last 4 years they've gotten better. If the last 4 years they had gotten worse, I think it'd be a much different narrative.
Absolutely.
And a much different way people would view Zach Werenski's request to do this. But it's the problem.
It's like we're almost there.
If they had bottomed out last year, if they missed the playoffs by 20 points, and if they continued on the same path they were on when the season started before they made the coaching change, if all that were still the same, I think people say, yeah, I get it.
Because that's more the Cam Atkinson Felino route,
Yes.
right? Whereas
feel
the
bad
team
for
was
the
heading
guys,
for a rebuild. They were older. Let's send you off. We all know we're resetting this thing.
Fans understand that aspect of it. Like, all right, man, like we're wasting your best years
but
here.
They have been on a maybe not straight up and down
but
line, but
it's
been a climb.
It's
So it was a total reset. They went to Werenski, said, do you want to stay? Like when they shipped out a lot of those guys, the Seth Joneses and whatnot, he said yes. They signed him to a long-term deal. And, you know, this is part of sports, man. It happens with a lot of athletes across multiple sports on multiple teams. But it's just then when you kind of feel like you are ready to break through and maybe you are a move away from getting into that postseason and whatnot after the last 2 years just barely missing out on it. And now he's actually like, yeah, I'm good.
What do you guys think it is? Because Columbus, I mean, you talk about going to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowd is awesome all the time. The city loves the team. Why do these guys always want to leave?
I have never heard Bobby put it very professionally and succinctly earlier when he said that the Russian players leave because there's not enough coke and strippers. But I don't. When you go outside,
I believe that.
When you go outside of the Russian contingency, though,
those guys are wild.
Know, because players have always said it's a small town, big city is what this is, or a big city, small town. I'm going to phrase it, but nonetheless, players though, they don't get bothered when they're out in public a lot of the times. You know, it's not like they see the people and like, you know, Carpenter can't walk around and get somebody recognizing him. But, you know, Jackets players, though, a lot of them can go completely unrecognizable throughout the city and do these things. They don't feel like when they're in New York or wherever, LA, things like this. And maybe that speaks to the fact they're nondescript because the Jackets are nondescript. But I think that, and everyone said they love raising their families here. You so many people that leave the Jackets and then come back here and retire and live here raise their families and stuff. That happens all the time. And so I don't know if there's got to be something in the water, meaning the organization. Yeah. There's got to be something going on.
And that's
there.
the only thing that's constant, right?
Right, because we've had new GMs, new coaches, new players, all these different things. And that's the only constant has been that.
And you're getting good crowds, and you're getting good. I mean, you get a good atmosphere for the games. I mean, as a player, you would think I love going out on the ice in this town.
Yeah,
I mean, the fans are here. We're not even very good.
Right,
and they show up and they're loud and they care.
Yeah,
I don't get the wanting to leave that kind of thing.
I think there's always going to be a little bit of the inherent and what can you do? It's Columbus, Ohio, but there's no beach right up the road. There's no warm weather. There's the old Tangy River. Yeah, it's
a
nice.
Couple sandbars at Buckeye Lake or Indian Lake. Yeah.
There's no state income tax, which can play a factor for some guys. I mean, that was another thing with Werenski. It's like, dude, Texas,
keep all your money.
I'm not going to pretend to know what it's like to live in Dallas because I've never lived there. But yeah, I think there's some of those factors there, and I do think, and I'm not educated enough to know this. There's somebody like Porty probably would be able to. Talk about this better.
Speaking of cocaine and strippers. Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead. No, I mean down 40 on that one.
They're probably – and there's got to be – they got to find some ways to mind the gap. I don't know exactly what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's things inside of the organization where it's like treating families better, treating the players better. And I don't mean like they treat them like poorly, but maybe it's just fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's nothing special about it.
Yeah, and they got to find a way to mind that gap, but it's tough, man, because it really you feel like it's Bradley Cooper in The Hangover, where it's like on the phone, it's like, hey, it happened again. And you're just like, you got to be kidding me. And I think especially this time, maybe in particular, too, as much as any, when you feel like you were kind of on the cusp of at least becoming, we'll say, a playoff team. I don't know that anybody thought, even with Werenski, Marchenko back in the fold and some free agent moves or trades this offseason,
we're going to go win the whole thing next year.
But it's like you were just barely off of it.
Yeah, if you don't have that terrible stretch at the end of the year, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't want to go conspiracy theory, but you know where Werenski's from, right?
Detroit, Michigan in particular.
Go figure.
I'm just saying, the Michigan.
Get him out of here. Why do we even bring that guy in?
The hell with this. We don't need this anyway. Coming up next, another Michigan guy catches a stray. Not only Werenski today, another guy did. We'll do that. That's next. Morning Juice.
At QC Kinetics Columbus, patients find lasting joint pain relief. Regenerative treatments help repair damaged tissue. No surgery, downtime, or steroids.
Knee pain's something I lived with since the big game, and I'm all over surgeries. That's how I found QC Kinetics. I was able to get in, see the doctors, do the treatment, and get my knee feeling basically brand new. I can work out, run, most importantly, chase my son around the house and the yard, and do my job without any pain.
Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. Better starts here.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver, and Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you a chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's most iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join the league, or bring the entire office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great drinks and food right here or next door with the Agave and Rye. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who has what it takes. Don't miss out. Book your race today. OutlawSimRacing.com.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thitoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
Hello, fan.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work right alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The 10 TV Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the news you need. 10 TV Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. Bobby knows what it's like to be a winner. Tito knows what it's like to be thrown out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You're here for an hour.
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, final segment of the program. Diana Rossini, the gift that keeps on giving, and as soon as I started saying that, I thought to myself, that's probably going to get taken in the wrong context. No, I know that taken in the wrong context. It's so but I could, like the Michael Scott thing, Bodie. You start saying something, I don't know where it's going to go, and I couldn't stop myself.
Sometimes I started it.
Yes, I don't know what's going to end. But there was the body cam
footage.
That right there was.
Give me some of that body cam.
No, wait. The body. Who was the coach for the Jets? Oh, Rex Ryan. He has body cam footage. Ooh. I'm saying the body cam footage from a January traffic stop with Diana Rossini showed he was trying to avoid a ticket by pulling up text messages with Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell while also taking a shot at JJ McCarthy. The officer revealed he was a Vikings fan. I think this happened in New York when she got pulled over. And she was showing him messages with O'Connell trying to get out of the ticket, which, look, I would get out of a ticket too. You can be the first thing I'd say, oh, I'm so sorry. I was on my way to the fan. I work with Bobby Carpenter and Bodie Wells.
Do you know who I am?
Right. I'm saying, they don't know who I am, but you can get there after a few letters.
But I'm popular. I'm on the radio.
Right. I'm kind of a big deal. But anyway, I would pull out all stops to get out of a ticket. 100%, 1,000%. Wait. Not all steps, because we're talking about Diana Rossini. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. But anyway, in the exchange, she makes the comment to the officer that JJ McCarthy sucks. Rossini joked the former Mitch quarterback sucks while showing the message with O'Connell in an attempt to skirt a citation, is what it says here. Skirt's a great word to use right there. Very impressive by this writer on 11 Warriors where they got this. Nonetheless, so I don't think that's breaking news, but I think it's interesting she would just say, oh, yeah, this guy sucks, McCarthy, but he does suck, right?
Yeah.
JT?
Oh, yeah. I don't think. I couldn't believe they drafted him that high when they did. Yeah. I just didn't think he really ever did. I mean, I know they won a national championship and were good while he was there, but they were also cheating. And who knows how much that had to do with it. And he didn't really ever take the game over and do anything. So I never really enjoyed that pick. And I think they're getting what they deserve up there. And that's why they have Kyler Murray coming in.
CJ Carr, JJ McCarthy there for your team this year, Bodie?
CJ Carr.
I got you. It's close on that one. Yeah. Should the officer get in trouble for this? Because he was going to. I mean, when you pull someone over, you are typically going to give them a citation. Most of the time, you don't pull someone over and think, you know what, I'm just giving this guy a warning or this woman a warning. Most of the time, when you do it, you are going to do it with the intent of issuing a citation.
You would think so.
And the fact that she was able to woo, and there's only 2 O's in there, but it could be 3. Woo, it could be Ric Flair. Woo, him by showing text messages with his favorite team.
Give us that one more time, Tito.
I'm not going to do it. Nope, I can't do it. I've done enough today to give you guys clips for things to use when I die. But should the first of all,
men are dumb. We're just big dumb animals.
We really are.
Start talking football, and he's like, I forgot why I pulled you over. All right, ma'am, have a good one.
You're really right about that. Now you mentioned it.
It's like, oh yeah, you think he sucks too? So do I. I've been telling my buddies.
He cost me money.
Like what the heck? Yeah, you know what?
I called this one on draft night.
Right.
I only pulled you over to talk to you about the Vikings.
I'm not criticizing police officers. I'm just saying, look, would that be something normally though you think an officer would be reprimanded for, because it's on the body cam? And look, the officer has to know it's on body cam, that that he obviously knows he has that on him, that everything's being recorded. So it's not like he was trying to cover up. So it's not like he turned it off and talked to her and then turned it back on. So like it was all out there. It was going to be out there. But is that something an officer you think would get talked? Do you think that someone said, hey, just so you know?
I think it all depends on how fast she was going, what she did.
Right.
I mean, if it was
she was
20 miles.
Driving.
Oh, well.
That's what it was. It was with the kids in the car.
I hate the texting. I drive by people all the time, and they're just staring at their phone. And I just always want to honk my horn. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're on the highway right now. We're going 70 miles an hour.
Especially
Look at the
with
road.
Kids in the car. Yeah, that's.
When I see someone doing that,
and also, did he still give her
a
ticket?
I can't believe this idiot's on his phone while he's driving.
Did he still give her a ticket, though? That's the thing.
No ticket.
Because if he did, and you're saying he did not?
Did not.
Okay.
Well, he may have been look at her record and be like, she's never had one for texting and driving. Maybe, I'm going to give her a break.
Personally, and I'll be honest, I've never had a huge aspiration to be a cop.
Yeah.
If I'm just being honest.
Sure.
But if somebody was trying that hard to get out of a ticket, I feel like that'd make me more inclined to give them a ticket.
Right, yeah.
I'd BS with them.
You're pulling out your phone and showing me text messages from a head coach?
Go, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Yeah, okay. You think you're cool?
You can pay this. Or
Look how cool I am. Here you go.
She said to him that she was...
Here's a text from my sergeant.
Said she was on the phone because she was researching or texting something about? She got some news about an NFL coaching change potentially, and like that's what she was.
Thank
that's
God.
why she was on there.
Thank God, because if she didn't tweet it out, the 35 other NFL reporters
we'd have never known.
Wouldn't have broken the news.
Glad she did that with her kids in the
I'll
car.
never I get why we have reporters and have jobs. That whole thing makes sense. But I'll never understand kind of one of two things, and they go hand in hand. One, the need to be first.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name any time any reporter was ever first on anything in the history of any sport?
History of any sport.
Well, maybe
I mean,
history
maybe
strong.
some like,
How about
history.
last 10, 15 years? If I told you right now, like, hey,
in the history of social media, when all these people do this,
who was the first NFL guy to break the news on Aaron Rodgers signing with Pittsburgh?
Right.
Who cares? I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think it even like I feel like back in the day, ESPN used to have like the ticker on the bottom line and be like, news, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yahoo Sports first to report.
Right.
I don't even know if like that's a thing anymore. I'm sure it is a little bit, but
they still do.
I don't know that anybody cares or pays attention to it.
I think honestly, it's
certainly not worth texting and driving over.
No, but I think Bodie, it's more of a resume booster for the reporter.
Yeah, because
if I could
you were
say,
the first one.
I was the first one to break
it.
this story. No one else knows it. Nobody else know. Like you just said, I have no idea who broke the news when Rodgers said he was coming back to the Steelers again this year. I have no idea who broke the news. With the Rossini stuff. I don't know who broke the news on that kind of stuff. I have no idea. But if I was the first one, I would be telling everybody I was the first one to get this. I can show I was the first one to get this, and that should boost my chances of getting a job.
Yeah, I guess though. Like I feel like first off. You're not wrong. That's a fair point. You would have to do it consistently, though, right? You can't. It just can't just be like a one-time off thing. And two, I don't know. I feel like in this day and age, man, it's like it's Shefty, Rappaport. Like it's all the same guys.
Right,
Like I don't even know.
Well, and when you open your app, I mean, you're going to see 4 different people with the same thing. You know, so it's
about
like,
half
okay.
a
Like I'm not getting
second,
alerts
so
on my
it's
phone when Schefter tweets something. You know, I go in an hour later and I see 8 different people talking about it.
Yeah, you aren't wrong though. There is something.
There's something
definitely
to that.
something to.
Getting the scoop
the
and
local
having
reporter
it.
who's like locked in with the team every day and whatnot, especially with the it matters for every sport, I think, but I think it matters even more so with like NBA, NHL, where like these long seasons every other night, baseball you're playing every day and whatnot. But sometimes even then, like I don't know, I kind of saw the news flood my Twitter feed this morning when I got into work and logged in. I have no clue who the first person was to break the news on Werenski vetoing a trade, but I do know that Portsline was the first guy I wanted to read his thoughts on it.
Sure.
You know, and like that to me matters way more.
Yeah, you're going to go check him. You trust him, and you know he's going to put the right stuff out there.
I trust his opinion and his analysis on it more so than any, whoever it was.
Just a blue check mark that's out there saying something.
The first person to tweet out like, "Hey, this happened."
I was the first one to break the ports line with strippers and cocaine.
You were, yeah. How about that?
The next time John Clayton reports something, they'll remember that one. If he's the first one in on it going forward, we get something like John Clayton reports, all of a sudden that's news for me.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Let's tell people's gas juiced.
Moved my things around here. There we go.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Oh, we got a quickie here now. No, don't. Jay-Z, don't. Jay-Z, I've got body cam footage for you. What's got you juiced, Jay-Z?
Got me juiced. I have a Betsy Ross 250th edition flag coming to the house today from a good friend of mine at the Flag Lady here in town, and so I'm excited to get that and hang that bad boy up for the weekend.
Cool.
It's a good weekend. Got my fridge stashed with the 250 beers from CBC. Nice. You know, I'm all in on this one.
There we
go.
So
I'm excited to hang that bad boy up here.
Are we going somewhere to watch fireworks?
We'll do. So my sister's coming down from Michigan. We're gonna hang out all weekend. But we do Plain City.
Okay.
Fireworks.
Nice.
Drive in the back, watch them from far away, drive right out, no traffic, no people. It was beautiful.
Between avoiding traffic and this year with the weather, not being sitting out there in that heat. As somebody who admittedly loves summer, even yesterday and this week, was like, oh boy.
I was thinking about the concert tomorrow night, and I was like, it's so hot.
Yeah.
Like I'll just be dripping in sweat the whole time.
Miserable. Like we were, obviously, Tito, you know this, but we went to Destin a couple weeks ago as a family, Jay-Z, and it's like it was nowhere near as hot down there as it has been yesterday here.
Yeah. This week is something else. They turned on the oven.
What's Slade got to say?
I remember my first child, and I was over on the side just I'm trying to help, and I just had like her back and a leg. Push this thing out of there. I'm like an accordion. My sister-in-law like brought over a towel, and I was like, oh yeah, take that stuff. Like, no, this is for you. Like, I was like dripping sweat on her, trying to do my part, get that kid out of there.
How hot was it in that delivery room?
I thought he said
I had a very similar experience.
I thought he said cow at first, not towel. I was like, why would your sister bring a cow? Was it
Why
home
not?
birth? Yeah, were you going to show us how it's done?
Legs, you never know, might be down on the farm.
Yeah. Nick in the chat, Tito, did say that John Clayton died 4 years ago.
I know
but
he did.
Yeah, I know.
That's the joke.
That was the joke.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Nick. Thank you for being there and being a listener. All right, guys, Wednesday, halfway through the work week here. That has me juiced. Happy to be back in here. Slightly. Kind of couldn't fall asleep last night, so when my alarm went off this morning, I was like, yep, still a little tired. So looking forward to today's nap. Also, actually, you know what? I did see this earlier. Let me get this pulled up here real quick. Here, jot this down, Tito. Big news. Exclusive.
Okay.
Speaking of first to report, TMZ. Taylor Swift is building a huge castle, garden. Maybe it's just castle and garden. I don't know. Is building a huge castle and garden inside MSG for the wedding celebration.
Oh,
so
look out.
Jot that down. Do you have one of those at your wedding?
I did not for either one. No.
For either one.
No castles and gardens?
No castles
Inside
and gardens.
Madison Square Garden?
I'll be honest. I feel like that's the first I've heard of that off the top of my head, outside of the actual royal family themselves.
Right, doing something like that.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark. Her and Travis Kelce are going to really lean into the love story song and music video with that. Which, you know what? Hey, man, when you're worth $1 billion+ bucks and he's done pretty well.
What was your walk-in music into the reception, you and the wife? Do you remember what song was playing?
Jeezy, I put on.
Got 99 problems.
Yes. Got 100 now. But anyway, yeah. It's all right.
Lucky in Love was our wedding song.
Right.
I don't know.
The walk-in song, you don't remember that?
No.
She's not listening. You can't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Gold Digger Kanye.
Yeah, it could be that too. We played The Devil in Disguise by Elvis. Yes. You're the devil in disguise. Oh, yes, you are. So that was that, yeah.
Yeah, I was probably too nervous to be listening to the music at that point in time.
Yeah. That was too drunk. Anyway, what's got me juiced? Yeah, the heat. You feel that heat out there. It hits you. But today is golf cart day, where we get the golf cart for the week. We pick it up today. The kids love it. We drive around town, go places. It's like we're going to buy one eventually because UA is a golf cart community now where you can take them out anywhere on 25-mile-an-hour roads. We'll get one eventually, but for now, we're just renting one for the week. Tansky Power Sports is going to drop one off. There's so many of them in UA that they get. Like, they've got to do like 3 or 4 different loads. They bring them into a church to drop them off to people. But
so
it's a lot of fun.
That's what UA people do on the 4th? Just drive golf carts around.
Golf carts, yep. Golf carts on. That's what they do. And so,
have you gotten yourself one of those little motorcycles that I see 12-year-olds riding around at like 65 miles an hour?
Oh, dude. I had a kid go down the street the other night. I'm like, slow down. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have a helmet on either. Like, what's happening?
I would listen, if I trusted myself, I would get one. I'm just not a good driver. I'm not mechanically inclined. I'm not smart.
It's good
I've got concussions. All these different things. Like
really?
It's a wonder that I can actually operate a lawnmower. Because like there's like anything like that, it's like you don't want me to do it. We were putting
like Cousin Eddie. Anytime Catherine turns the microwave on, you piss your pants and forget who you are for half an hour.
We were putting a gazebo up. My friends were helping. I was more just watching. And I go up and screw one thing in. I've got the. No, I do. I screw it in all the way with the power tool, and then I touched the screw to make sure it was in, and it was burning hot. I'm like, oh, that was stupid. After they said, Jeff, no more. We got it. And so that's
and it was stripped.
Yes, it was stripped. It was stripped, and it was so damn hot, burned my finger.
I did got in there.
One screw in an entire gazebo for the backyard, a huge one.
And you burnt your finger.
I burnt my finger, and they said, you know what? You're good. Just
go be a bartender.
Hold the ladder.
Hold the ladder.
Yeah. That's it for us, folks. Jay-Z, you're back tomorrow.
Yes.
Let's talk about a USA win tomorrow on this show, Morning Juice.